There are some nightclub environments that just meeting a person in that environment DHVs you, right? If you're at the Grammys and you go to a Grammys after party, then any human being that you interact with in a Grammys after party is someone awesome. You know, it's already niche. It's already, they're in the music industry. They're already at the Grammys. You know, not everybody gets to go. You know, it's filled with celebrities and things like that, right? Which is awesome. You know, great fun. So just meeting them in it is the DHV. So you don't have to actually DHV. You could just say hi. And it DHVs you. But there are other clubs where your very presence in it is a DLV to the girl who's there. It's a DLV to her personally, but she doesn't have to know. She's just a pretty girl. All these cocks around her, you know, are dancing for her, you know, trying to get her attention, right? So, I thought everyone's here. There's not a person missing. There was, oh, the one guy?
I don't know.
Right, so yesterday was not a great place for picking up a girlfriend, in my opinion, right? Why do the pickup artists of the world, when they go down to Hollywood, why has the Saddle Ranch become a typical Saturday night haunt for PUAs? And the reason is because it's good to go to a dive bar. Not because you want to pick up a girl, but because you want to get 3 or 4 sets under your belt, so you can get, don't you feel like if that was it, that's the experience, that's all you got, the last 2 days, tomorrow or tonight, right, you're going to meet your girlfriend now. So now, that's it, that's all the time you had. Would you really feel like you've had enough? Or do you feel like you want to do a few more nights like that in a row so that you can get your material up to speed for when your girlfriend comes, right? Well, that's what we got to do. So that's why I wanted to go to the big ass places that are not conducive to pickup, right? It's also what you guys expect in, hey, we're gonna pick up girls at the party. No, it only takes one girl to make me happy. You know, you can go to a place, I've done this with my wingman, we go into a place and he's got a friend with him, right? Because, you know, we're out and we go into an empty place. And the guy goes, oh, it's dead, and starts leaving. And I'm like, can you grab him? There's a bartender. She's doing nothing this second. Let's go work her now and then leave. Not stay, but come in, work the set, get the contact, say I'm in the industry, and there's an industry mixer on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Have your clothes ready, right? Get it and go. Make sense? So take your opportunities where the universe presents them. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
but this man is not doing it. So my question to you is, what advice do you have to offer this gentleman who is in observe mode and doesn't actually, feel the desire to have sex? Maybe that's it. What do you think?
Just take the action of the moment. Go and do what you want. That's the point. In my opinion.
Yeah. Like, why are we playing the game?
Yes.
It's because there's a desire to, wow, that girl's really pretty, and yes, it scares me to talk to her, right? But that's kind of why I think I want to talk to her, because I get thrilled by something. Otherwise, you just stay home and go, okay, I don't need a girlfriend. I'm thrilled by playing online poker, right? So you're into pickup because you have a love for women?
Well, yes.
I do.
Yes.
Right? That's why we're doing it, aren't we?
Yeah. Because for women,
Yeah.
and I have a love for myself, a love for the things that I really like. And the point is that I really want to at this time, I want to discover the secrets of this world, just because it was my personal curiosity. So,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yes,
It's fascinating.
if I never did the action before, I never arrived to this point. That's the point. So if you start, better. Only this.
Were you scared yesterday to do approaches? Or did you maybe find your zone of, I'm now comfortable not interacting?
I didn't feel so uncomfortable as on Friday, but
Right?
still.
It's an overwhelming place to go to. Was that it?
Yeah, actually, I felt slightly better during the day game activity.
Right.
The same day.
Yeah. No, because yesterday was crazy.
Surrounded by other people, so yeah.
At some point, though, what you can do is find yourself kind of what you saw us doing. We had. Yeah, because we're talking about last night's girls. Right, the second two. We opened sets, worked them standing, and brought them down to a sit-down situation, right? And that sit-down situation was able, because I had over the shoulder several times, worked your sets, basically, you know, there's girls with you guys in them, and was able to, you know, act as if, yeah, we're all a group. They stuck around longer. We had groups of girls sitting, standing, that were able to push out all the guys. You know? It's like, how do you get all these guys that are around you to dissipate? Is grab some girls and bring them in, so the guys are actually just sort of pushed out. And now within that context, you as men sitting there just look more comfortable. If it's like 5 guys sitting at a table, it's just yucky. But when you're sitting and you've got a few girls, then the over-the-shoulder comments are DHV'd. Your demonstration of higher value, pre-selection is there. It feels more comfortable for me, is what I'm saying.
Is that why you guys stayed near the table, because
well, we
it's
wanted,
one of the few
there was also
location?
Look how packed that is. If you want to isolate a girl and you can't physically do it, right? You can't lock in, you're lost in the jostle of it still, right? We were holding that table. So that was why we weren't leaving the table, because if we were, like when I got up, I had to right, before it was being stolen by people, because if it gets stolen by people, then we don't have a sit-down lock-in for when the girl's worthy of that. And that's a technical, logistical problem. Are there solutions? Yes, there are solutions.
So in such situations, you just stay
There's
there
other lock-ins.
to secure the lock-in position, and you open
That and to be seen with girls, because remember, when we're there, you seem to forget, you're like looking at where is my next set, as opposed to these 300 people see you sitting with the hottest girl, shooting the laughters and smiles because you're in your own headspace of this, but all those other people see we are the guys with the hot girls of the entire club. We're seated outside. It doesn't seem like a big deal to us because we're standing there going, okay, what's here? But all that sea of people saw that. So when you stand up and you go walking through, it's easy to start initiating the chats over the shoulders. They've already seen you looking hot, right? So that's all we were doing, is just multiple grouping, just looking social with girls as opposed to looking social just with the guys.
One question, Eric. That's great. You were there and standing with the girls, but for me, sometimes I felt a bit. I don't know how to explain. There were a lot of guys at the place. Like physical, stronger, or
Intimidating.
Yeah, a bit intimidating sometimes. I don't know why, but
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And sometimes I go out to a public gathering and feel intimidated by the fact that, look, there's 1,000 people around me. This is scary times. I'm not home and safe, right? Yet, I always, just say guys are ugly girls in my mind. And you did see me interact with guys, strangers and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Am I okay? Like, I think I'm being dominant, but accepting of them, right? Like I will, if it's a guy and a girl making out, I will tap them on their shoulders and say, may I cut in? Because it's funny, it's a joke. But what makes me do that? What is making me be okay with entering mixed sets? Right?
Yeah.
What makes me okay with entering mixed sets?
I think that you've got reference points of you've done it so many times.
I've gotten
Again,
girlfriends out
comes
of
down
mixed
to
sets.
comes down
Bodies
to
are in
practice
mixed
again.
sets.
If you isolate, if you are only going for girls that are in groups of girls, you're missing out on maybe more than 50% of the girls in the place, right?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, I make it happen anyway. It's an ugly girl. I like talking to people.
Yeah.
So that's why I will talk to guys in the club as well. Some guys will just, stay really quiet, find one girl he wants to mate with, and then try to get her away from her friends, even though she's come with her friends for the night. Some of these, you can't meet a girl 5 minutes at the beginning of it and say, come on, let's get out of here. If she's with her friends, if you've said, how do you all know each other? You can pull girls in the first half hour. You can, because some girls, that's just what they want. They really don't want to be here. They just wanted to find a guy. And you came in and, snagged it Albro style, right?
Mhm.
And it's an artful thing. There it is. And you're the universe presenting to love her. Just out of the blue. It makes her day richer, right? But what happens if you can't do that because it's a mixed set?
Yeah.
You still got to work it now. So now the next level is we got to do group theory. We got to work these guys, And if that means opening up an adjacent set and throwing girls on them, so be it. But at some point you got to get to a lock-in. So you need to know where you're locking in prior to going. You didn't even get to lock-in, son, right? You were still in stand-up fighting, stand-up game. We got to go to takedown, right? So you got to do the standing and then bring them into that lock-in, so you're in the ring now. Boom, 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 boom. Did that get seen? Good. Do they feel it? Like it doesn't just heat up the room when you have girls surrounding you. If you get 3 girls and you're shooting the shit and having them laugh, you're not just heating up all the adjacent sets. You're doing that. It's great. The next sets will be easy to open. Some girls will go in proximity to you. But what you're also doing is allowing that social proof of the girls. They can just look at each other and go, oh, he's one of those guys. He's a guy who's pre-selected. How do we know? Because we're here. You can even call it out. You can even say to them, there are women in this room that are so jealous of you 3 right now. It's a joke, it's funny. And you say, well, hear me out. There are women in this room that would like to speak to me because I'm obviously the life of the party and the party's here. But they have to get through all of you in order to get to it. So respect your time with me. I'm one of those guys. Right? And they look at each other. And I've heard people, because it's a set of jokes, right? It's my false bravado. But at that moment, what really happens is the girls go, so what's your name? They start showing eyes from that point forward. And I've been doing that, for enough times to note that, to me, it's a DHV spiking tool. I lock in and I tell them that I'm one of those guys. Isn't that interesting? You guys have found one of those guys, but you didn't know it until you became, the test, right? If I can hold their attention, makes sense? But it heats up adjacent sets, and that's really why you're doing it.
If a girl does test you, I see that as an IOI.
Yeah,
Because why would they?
exactly.
Why would they want to even bother testing you?
That's right.
The only way a girl is totally not interested is indifference. Indifference is the opposite of love. So it's just nothing.
She wouldn't even talk to you, probably.
Now you got to see some close quarter battling, right? It was kind of like we were in the stand-up mode, lots of dudes, and we're saying, okay, next set, soldier, right? Recover. And there's a set there, and it's not hooking because they're not hearing you, you're not running it.
Yeah.
So I do a demo. Could you explain what you learned from that? Because we did it twice in a row, 2 sets. What did you learn from that? What are you gonna take from that?
I think the greatest thing what you said to me, don't deliver an opener, open. And I got from that, it's really not about just spitting out a line and hoping it kind of works, but even if it doesn't hit that, I still have to, if, like you told me, if the girl is not reacting, then I say, knucklehead or something.
Tap her on the shoulder.
Yeah,
Hey.
and I have to be more power, more energy, more dominance, stuff like that.
And even more dismissive. Be ready to show that dismissiveness over the shoulder stuff. She hasn't earned you to even turn like this, right? Sometimes you will open over the shoulder, and who are you? And that's special because it's like from someone behind, I'm a bit of a dick, You're very little, over the shoulder. What about the second set?
Well, the best was the one with, I don't know if you saw the Chinese Asian girl. She was actually into me. She asked me my name. So what's your name? And I said Roland. And
Yeah.
she was interested, but then I lost it because it were two girls. I was alone.
Is that when you said, I wish you were taller? Is that when you said, I wish you were taller?
I said this line so many times. I don't
Ah,
know.
okay.
Yes, I think I said
I
it
think
to
you
them,
did,
but
and then
they
you
came
were
back later. They
I
came
should
back
get
later.
you some high heels.
Yeah.
I remember.
And but then two Irish guys started to talk to them, and I lost the set because there were two guys. I was alone, and so because the Chinese was interested in me,
Did
but
you
her
try-
friend was not. So her friend started talking to the Irish guys and then pulled her away.
Did you try and befriend the guys?
Yeah, it's called handling the external interrupt. Like I did outside.
Like you like straight away, hey, who are you?
And the
No.
interrupt. Continue.
I kind of lost it there. That's where I
Of
didn't have
overwhelm
enough
and all that,
experience.
fair enough,
Yeah,
exactly.
I was overwhelmed.
Well,
to do
this is debrief, so now you know for tonight that you have to punch forward.
yes.
Here's something, a little kata that I hope will help. Opener, false time constraint if necessary. Third opener, stack forward to a DHV story. Pause the DHV story, throw a neg, continue the DHV story. Pause that story, start a new DHV story, having paused the last one, not finished it, just to have more than one story going for multiple threading purposes. Start running that material. Oh, external interrupt comes in, cut game, neg target, so this one recognizes that you're not after them, so that you can then say, how do y'all know each other? Get that person involved in the new story. Now I'm opening up the third DHV story. Pausing, because that took care of the interrupt. Pausing and saying, where was I? Oh yeah, and going back to the first story and continuing it. And now it's over. Instead of being in that weird lull of pregnant pause, awkward pause, and I have to now start a new story, instead, I've already protected myself from any of that because I've got two DHV stories open and paused. I can say, where was I? Oh yeah. So at the Hollywood sign, if you touch it for good luck, trust me, it works. And I'm on to that again. That's multiple threading. Then pausing for a second and noting that there's another set and using all that I've created here right now to over the shoulder, open at A3. Can I borrow your hands for a second? Come join, actually here, come join me. Now I'm doing some keynote touches and moves, and I'm getting into lock-in. That's every set is like that, right? Do you feel it like a kata? Like it's open, FTC, DHV, pause, neg, continue DHV, move into lock-in, right?
Let's write it down.
No, but I'm just saying, this Kino escalate, roll off, DHV, start qualifying her, qualify a question, she starts answering, now start feigning interest, you know? And then your next comfort building story, get her into a compliant, come join me, we're gonna sit down here for a second, and you sit down and you tell a deep comfort story about yourself, you actually can talk to her about that, as if you're interested in this human being for real, not just because they're hot, because they're awesome, because of the qualification they went through, 8 to 12 minutes of getting to know the person and being curious, and then saying, look, your first impression sucked. Now that I get to know you, you were absolutely incredible. I really enjoy your company. I used that too soon. But in the madness of the night, right, we're seated one-on-one, and I've disarmed the obstacles. Actually, I started tension with her best friend, because she was taking too much from the bottle, and that's disrespectful. So I was saying, don't be a dick. And I left it at that and let that sink into her for a bit, right? But with that comes the respect afterwards, where we pinky love and okay, and then she ends up initiating a conversation with me spontaneously, so I know she's trying to now redeem herself, right? And I get to say to her, your friend and I like each other, you okay with that, right? So all that's going, but it was too compressed in the chaos of it all. But notice these waypoints, notice these pieces. Is that how you were working it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday
You know?
I just started to realize about the steps.
Can you give me one of your sets, go into your mind and say, what is it that I did in terms of DHVs, DLVs, demonstrations of lower value, right? IOIs, indicators of interest, and indicators of disinterest, or negs, because she can neg you, you can neg her, right?
Yeah.
How did one of your sets go? And there it is. What is it? 3 set, 5 set, 2 set, what?
Well, I just was focusing on pickup lines, you know, just start the conversation. And there was one set that Ali tried to get,
Okay.
and I was later, and there was a Brazilian girl, so I started with what do you prefer? Wanted or needed pickup line. It was good. I started to talk with the Brazilian girl with GHBs.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of Brazilian people and talking about my travels and
So commonalities.
commonalities. Yeah. And I tried to move the whole set, and it was close because the Brazilian girl won all her friends. Okay, let's go. But the
Yeah.
other friends they were like,
Yeah.
no. And
Okay.
It was
And
shame.
and so they went, okay, well, we're not going. And
Yeah,
you,
not
and you
going.
went, oh.
yeah, I didn't work the whole set. I
Because it was near the first
yeah.
ones, right? Exactly. Understood.
If
Right,
there's
so you know
someone
what
in
to do next
set
time is
that's
just
you
dig it.
losing, if there's someone in set that's losing interest, you have to throw, say, a pebble at them. Boom! Hey, come here. I want to show you.
Mental. You know,
Okay.
Bring them
Throw
in
it
because
quick.
they're the one that will drag away the whole group.
the dragway
So,
girl.
boom.
So yeah.
Hey, you.
A little
come here.
pebble you can throw is you talk a lot.
Yeah.
Silent
Even
if
if
she has
violent.
not said a word, right? Like a girl, says we should go or something, right? And she's the pull away girl. You could just tap her and say, "You talk a lot." What do you mean? And just throw the pebble at her, and then stack forward, and you get the attention again. You know?
I say, I'm going to nickname you silent but violent.
What would you do differently if we could go back in time?
Yeah.
Would you have done more sets?
I will study more the material. You know,
Okay.
get ready.
But
with all
think of
the-
it this way: when you were in sets yesterday, that was the point of it. It wasn't to get the girl; it was just to practice the material.
Yeah.
So my question is, why didn't you do double the sets?
Sorry.
Why did you not do double the amount of sets? Because if I could go back in time, what I would have done, like honestly, if this was not a boot camp, that was a 4-set, I would have left with them on the beach. Because they just want to be entertained. I could have bounced those girls with compliance. They would have been compliant to my saying, "Yeah, let's just head out there for a little bit," and then I could just say, "Let's go grab a bite to eat," right? I would definitely. I'd be throwing my wingman on any of the others to kind of create precedence, right? And I would treat them not like we were in one of those. Chicken coops of a place on a Saturday night, but rather as friends on a beach. We met at a crazy place, but we're no longer in that mode. Now we can take the time to invest in each other conversationally down by the beach, right? But I couldn't do it because he's like, can't lose the table because the bottle's going to come, right? And I'm like,
That was
okay,
our only
well.
standpoint.
And the very first thing, as you know, very first thing that occurred to me is, these aren't the girls we need to get drunk. It's not, we don't have to play that game at all, but it was coming, and we're going to play the old school, bottle. I'll tell you, if you're going to do a bottle, don't make it your game plan. It's not game. You're not like, oh, I'm getting girls by buying a bottle, now I have a place to sit. Honestly, you can go without any of that, and if you want to still play that bottle game, open a 2-set and say, let's go make some friends, and bring them, with your moxie, creative courage, get into a VIP area. If you have 2 hot girls, they'll kind of let you in. You'll say, yeah, these are all my friends. Yeah, we're friends, right? And you'll get in,
Yeah.
So you could also wave and say to a guy, this girl would like to meet you, right? And you say your name to the guy. He's like, well, come on in. You know what I mean? You're giving him a girl. And you can even say, these 2 girls are good friends, but I need some cool guy to occupy the friend so I can isolate my target. She wants to meet you. No? Okay, well, nice meeting you. And they're like, no, right? Point is, you get to sit at other people's bottles. You get to sit at their tables because you're offering a girl to the table. The owner of that bottle is happy to sit at his table, serve a drink to the dude who brought a girl and brought another girl that he's chatting with to make the whole table look good. It just feels good, So you can get your girls drinks, you can help people. That's what game is, right?
Think of women as gold pieces. The more gold pieces you have to play with, the more you command the world. Simple. It's true.
Very good. Exactly.
You can use a few gold coins to get
Yeah,
on the table.
I was just
Your silver coins, not the gold
I
ones.
was on your calling them gold because I don't want to be derogatory and call them pawns like in the game of chess. The sevens and the eights are the pawns. No, everyone is gold. It's all gold. It's all part of your social toolbox, your social dynamics moment. You're creating moments. When you lock in, there you are. When you lock in, you're actually trying to create that moment. So you can flash game the first, hour of the night, and then you won't be seen gaggled like that the whole time. You can't do it. You actually have to go from that to selecting some people to go into a real true sit down, so you can actually get to know each other more intimately. That looks better. Otherwise, you look like you're gaming. That's your cool game because it's too much all night long. You actually have to progress. Some people get locked in the fun of the DHVing, like becoming a dancing monkey. That's what was occurring at that table. I did one piece of magic, and the girl was saying, do a magic trick, do a magic trick. And the word trick irks me, right?
Yeah.
And she was taking too much from the bottle.
Yeah.
So I just went, no. And I think that high value is attractive to women because I'm structuring an opportunity to say no to her, really. That's my goal is I'm constantly saying no to a girl unless they do something for me, in which case I then reward them with IOIs or interest. That's kind of the game plan.
You win more by saying no than by saying yes. To a high
And
value
what does
girl.
that remind me of? Who was it?
Can I just nickname you? Your PUA name should be Lock-In.
Oh, it was you. It was you. Great to watch you work. You're good with people. But are you hitting the waypoints? That one girl you were talking to, I brought you into the damn thing, and you know what happened. Explain what happened because you felt it.
He was talking to a two set that were great, and he needed me to isolate the target, the obstacle, so that he could be the target.
Or just show that I have friends.
Yeah. And I started showing too much interest on the other one, and the tension just went low.
And she kind of got mentally pushed back.
Yeah, and I
Step.
stepped forward instead of stepping back.
Mm.
And
you can lose a set by a body language error.
And so you left, and the minute you left, they left.
Ouch. Right? That's what you did. You had to learn that lesson.
Yeah.
So that won't happen again. Or if it does start happening, you could say, ooh, I'm feeling creeped out. If you feel creeped out, I can say, ooh, I'm feeling creeped out. And then it's like another pebble on them. Why? What did I do? You just go, ooh, I'm feeling a little creeped out. Take a step back. Good. I'll pause it and say to them, take a step back. Good.
Yeah.
I know we're a girl-boy dynamic here, but let's turn it off for now. Good. So they're like, what? But they felt discomfort too. But you're addressing it, you're then table turning, and then you can continue from there. But it has to be equal. When you give an indicator of interest to a girl, you want her to say thank you. You don't want her to say, oh, I have a boyfriend. Give you an IOD for an IOI. Because that's what I'm going to get into right now. Okay? There's only 4 components in game. DHVs, DLVs, IOIs, and IODs. And it's how you throw them and how you receive them from each individual at any moment in the timeline. Right? I want to give an IOI, but I want to get an IOI in return. Right? You're beautiful. Thank you. I want to, lick your clit. I want you to. Right? Please take your panties off. Okay. IOI, IOI, right? But what happens if you say, you have beautiful eyes, and she says, I have a boyfriend? You're getting an IOD, right? How do you handle this back and forth thing? What is it that we're trying to do here? So the way I see it is, I'm throwing a DHV, and then I'll do a compliance test You know, give me your hands for a second. And if she gives her hands, but they're kind of like hesitant, as if I touch them, she's not compliant, she's kind of hesitant, I can then grab her hand with my thumb and go, ew, did you just lick your palm? And they'll go, oh no, so it was the glass, or, right? It's funny. And I just go, ew, you know? Because she's earned that in that moment of now. I got an IOD, she doesn't even know she's doing it, but I'm sensing it, an indicator of disinterest from this. So I'm very sensitive to every moment of that. That's the game, right? If I get an IOD, I instantly IOD. I may IOD twice actually, just IOD. And then DHV again, and then do another compliance test. And there's two types of compliance tests, IOIs and IODs. If I say, you're very attractive, is there more to you than meets the eye? It's an IOI with the compliance test, am I gonna get an answer, right? And if she says, I don't know, I'll say, I was just being polite. IOD, right? But if she says, well, or if I say, how old are you? And she says she's 22, and I say, you're just a baby. She can either say, yep, I'm just a baby, nice meeting you, bye, right, IOD, or she can say, well, I'm mature for my age. So she's bridging the gap of age difference, seeing as I have some wisdom lines. Never slow me down.
You can say, I've had girls like you for breakfast.
I've eaten girls like you for breakfast. Are you teasing? Right. So there's the DHV in order to then do a compliance test, which could be an IOD compliance test. You know why you and I will never get along? That's an IOD compliance test. Because in that moment, she can then say, oh, no, we get along. Right? I can see who I'm dealing with that. Or I think we get along great. Right? Sometimes they'll say, why? Or sometimes, rarely, when she's hot, she'll say, I know. Right? We don't have to get along. We can have sex with each other and not like each other. I get my little sound bites.
We'd argue all the time, but a makeup sex would be awesome.
Right. So this is how it is. You throw a DHV and then a compliance test. You get an IOI. You give an IOI in return, and then you can DHV again. And your DHVing is giving value. It could be information that is interesting. It's just information. That's what we're doing. Like little maps, how to get from A to B. Hey, did you learn about this yet on the internet? That's your topic. You're offering little bits of value. So it has to be balanced the whole way from meat to sex. That's what push-pull is. That's the metaphor, is you want to have given her IOIs, but only enough that she's willing to accept them and give you IOIs back. If that's not occurring, then you're still in neg warfare mode. You're still fighting to demonstrate that dominance and equality. Right? Are you playing that game? We're giving you the tools, you're seeing it, but do you see that taking place in field? I know you work, when you're in isolation with a girl, sometimes you're wrestling her mind, she's like, all right, pick me up. And you're like, okay, well, man, I just came to say hi, really, now you're making me have to work for it. You know what I mean? What goes through your mind with that? IOIs, IODs, DHVs, DOVs, how do you use them?
First, I start with DHVs, disinterest, playing, and then joking, but I want to isolate really fast.
Yeah.
I want to move the girl, I don't want to stay
and you bring out your IOIs soon into it because they're attractive, because there's a dominance to it, which is a DHV. You're using your IOI giving as a DHV, right? As a no-nonsense, I like what I like.
I agree with that.
What happens if they throw you an IOD? Bam. How do you not give up and, because they resistance.
I smile and I say, oh, you're so cute, and I continue talking.
Fair.
It's like, I don't hear it.
So snip and stack.
You snip and stack.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful way of doing it, right? If a girl gives you an IOD, you can just positively misinterpret it, an example is if you're handing someone a drink, right? It's a group, and you're handing someone a drink, and they go, no. You can say, this wasn't for you. You have a friend there, right? Little subtleties like that to keep the balance, you know, and it has to be an equal escalation is what I'm saying. That's all. You can't overdo it. You can't overhit. If you overhit, they'll feel discomfort and you lose them, right? Or if the obstacle sees it, right? Any other thoughts here? I mean, because I'm not going to get into drawing a diagram of it right now.
Yeah,
Because it is a diagram. Go online though, and do a search for microcalibration, PUA microcalibration. And you will be using your DHV material to DHV. You'll be using your negs in order to indicate a disinterest, which is really comfort building, right? You're gonna want to learn about the whole list of indicators of interest, both the hardwired ones, the ones that are built in, like, you know, scratching here or when she scratches here. If a girl scratches here, she's talking to you, she likes you, or at least someone around you, right? If while she's talking to you, she touches her hair, that moment she's showing an indicator of interest. It's her selfish DNA machinery conveying that it wants to have sex, whether she does or not, right? It's just, that's welcome to evolution. That's how that works. Only those that indicate that I need to be groomed to the male get a chance to be groomed by the male, right? So it's all built in from ape days. But there are a whole list of indicators of interest, and you know some of them. You know, the girl's leaning in, if she crosses her legs towards you instead of away, right? If it's not just over the shoulder, or if it is over the shoulder because she's trying too hard. That's an IOI too. So do a search for PUA indicators of interest. These are searches you know, you're gonna go online, but the secret is to note that there are terms that exist in the pickup artist industry. And all the books have been spider indexed by Google. You can just Google the right keywords and you'll get the right answers. But saying how to pick up girls will get you how to pick up girls books, as opposed to how do I open a 3-set, right? Using keywords. How to perform an external interrupt. If you do PUA external interrupt, how to, you will get the answer to how to handle an external interrupt. How to handle an internal interrupt, PUA, add the keyword, right? So that's what I want you guys to be focused on over the next 6 weeks, really, is get immersed. Get immersed in that. Get immersed specifically in microcalibration. That's, all these tools are for that purpose. Fair?
Yep, fair. I've got a load of openers and quips and throwaway comments. If you want me to go through a ton of them, you can write them down.
I have a question regarding, you told before that, if it wasn't for the bootcamp, you would have taken the group to the beach and so, but then it's another setting, like another relation. Would you then...
C2.
Yeah, so it's another type of material you have specifically for that, like comfort building, and it's not attraction anymore. It's more like comfort.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're not doing the bragging spikes at the beginning again. You are still doing DHVs, but you're peppering them in more slowly, longer, because you're also peppering in the qualifier questions. Now, if like two people like each other and they're holding hands, it's like, what do I do now? Well, get to know each other. There's still all those routines you got to do. You know, murder, marry, shag. It's something you can do at any time. It's a comfort building routine, really. You're having fun together. That's all that is. And you're not hitting on her during the time, but you could be arm in arm, right? And that gets her comfortable with you, while you then turn away from her and say, I'm going to pick 3 people. See what I mean? That's the purpose of it, is to do the keynote, right? That's why you're doing it. To be seen with a girl. To do something to occupy her mind while you're filling the 7 hours. Who did Murder, Marry, Shag yesterday? Nobody. You know?
I when I needed it, I had forgotten it, and I later thought there was a routine I wanted to do. Murder, Marry, Shag, but then I was already, I've lost the set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But just burn it in to go, okay, if I run out of something, I want to get to all my material. Remember the cheat sheet idea? 3 openers, a couple false time constraints, 5 DHV stories would be good, Get on your cheat sheet.
So
Stories.
what are your free openers, for example?
Let's write a cheat sheet. What
Yeah.
was your cheat sheet? Let's
Blank
write it.
page, blank page.
Yeah, but let's pull it out now. Let's just get a quick cheat sheet.
You know,
Just
it
what
could be on
happens
your
if you meet
phone.
a girl at the next break. You know, this cheat sheet can change over the years, but it's so important. Use it for the next 6 months, like a pro. You know, like a comedian, Chris Rock. He's got a cheat sheet of his set list.
It should be your Bible.
This is your set list. Cheat sheet's important. It's gonna need some DHV stories on it. Just write the name of that DHV story. Like for me, it's like the Hollywood sign. I write the Hollywood sign.
Do you know the one trick that is really good?
Qualifier questions.
The one, the coin thing.
Karate coin snatch.
I think they need to learn that.
Yes.
Who's got a coin on it?
Yeah, but this is a sit down.
I still think.
I know, but for me to do that.
But if you just demo it, and then
I'm good. No, I'm good.
Do you want it?
come on, you know you're
Yeah,
right.
no,
Come
I
on.
don't, because this is not the environment.
I still think it would work.
Everyone sees it. Okay. Right? And for that, that's stand up. That's running a set with some girls.
Okay. We'll show it on the break
Demo
then.
that on a breakout.
We'll show it on the break.
You know? But yeah, it's great. It's great. You lead the men and the women follow. But it's nothing I need to get on camera.
No,
It's
but
just
we'll do it outside.
You know? It's like magic without being magic. I'll leave it at that for now. And you should all learn it. That outside next time we're gonna drink
I
some.
heard so much about this routine, but
It's
still,
it's great. I'm bored by it. You know, it's gonna take 10 minutes to run a single routine. You know what I mean? To teach it to you. I mean, it just takes time. We'll do it outside standing when we're in a different vibe. But let's talk about the qualifier questions. The act of qualifying a girl is a high-valued male behavior. You have to ask her questions about herself as if you don't even know if you want to talk to her more. And these questions actually are the questions that will determine whether you stick around or not, or lose interest, you know? So how do you all know each other? You have to know that, it's a qualifier, right? Oh, this is my boyfriend, so you'd be out, right? What nationality are you? For some, I mean, you could positively misinterpret anything she says as a proper qualifier, as a qualification, right? Negs are disqualifiers, by the way. If you ever type in PUA disqualifiers, you're gonna get a certain type of neg. You know, too bad I'm gay or you be so my type. You're giving a disqualifier, an IOD, with an IOI calibrator at the end. And that's pickup. You're not just giving an IOI and waiting to see if you get an IOI or not. Sometimes you're giving an IOI to inject it into her mind and then calibrate with an IOD at the end. You know, like saying you have beautiful eyes. She goes, thanks. You say, can I touch them? Right? And now it's just a joke. You know, beautiful eyes. IOI, right? Can I touch them? Oh, he was just kidding. But that's still in there. She still had that moment of feeling, right? When given the IOI, right? I like saying to a girl, I can talk to you forever. I can't listen to you. Right?
Write it down.
Yeah. So these are, how you should be doing it. It isn't an IOI or an IOD. It's an IOI with an IOD calibrator, maybe with another IOI to an IOD again. And every time you do an IOD, it protects you from getting that IOI rejected. That's what that is. But you're able to still inject the IOIs to show interest, but she can't say anything about it. You know?
Do you all get why that works? Do you understand why that works?
And I say another example, the opposite is, I'm trying so hard not to make up with you again. Say that to a girl, right? I'm trying so hard not to make up with you again. All right, I'm not even in that headspace. Get this. Now, just given an IOI, then I'm not even in that headspace. Get this. It's thrown there. And now I get into conversation, and when I'm into a DHV thing, when I'm done, I'll pause, do a question to now allow her to escape easily or continue talking to me. A pregnant pause, right? Like I was doing outside. Sometimes it's nice to just shut the f up and wait for something to happen, right? You're in control of that. You can use pregnant pauses to your own personal advantage. And this is how I use it. I then give the pregnant pause. If she fills in the pregnant pause with conversation, when just a minute earlier I gave an IOI, when I'm trying so hard not to make out with you, and then letting go, she wants to then do that, right? She wants to kiss you. That's what that is. She's willing to kiss you. How cool is that? Do you get it? Does that make sense? Like, I'm not hoping for the kiss. I'm giving her advance notice. And then I'm giving her a chance to walk away, and if she doesn't, that's it. I can kiss her at that point. Like, I've got the information. Now, that's fucking awesome. To be given the information of, this girl wants to kiss me. And now that I know it, I don't have to do it right away. Because now I'm in control. And I can say, is it more to meets the eye? Oh, wait, really? I can't stop looking at your lips. You know? I just can't stop looking at
Your lips.
Yeah, Shane, Jimmy watch.
Not about my lips, what about your lips?
Enough about my lips. What about your lips? Did you come in on a panel? Yeah.
2 humps?
2 hours. Right. So qualifiers. Let's give one more. Oh, if you had no chance of failure, you could be anything in the whole wide world. Don't say princess. What would you want to be? You know, that's kind of what got the girl that was wearing the glasses, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. You know, just snagged. Was she said she went to film school, right? In not Berkeley, in California somewhere. So I just hit that route and said, well, you remind me of Quentin Tarantino's editor, right? Because that's a relationship that the two of them have, and I talked about that there's a relationship there. You know, imagine doing a multi-million-dollar movie and getting all that footage for all that, you know, the one with Brad Pitt, what was that called?
Snatch.
Not Snatch. Quentin Tarantino, Brad Pitt.
Indigenous Bastards.
Inglorious Indigenous Bastards. That's the Australian version with Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan.
He's a national treasure, mate. Right, Inglorious Bastards. All that footage was captured and put on hard drives, brought to his house, and in his garage with one lady on a Mac computer, he built a multi-million-dollar movie. How awesome is that? Right? See? I'm not hitting on the girl when I'm saying this, but it gets you ensnared for a moment, right? And that's what I did. And so there was this commonality that I was interesting because I was interested in something about her life. So when you're qualifying, you're trying to bait information from her that you can actually grab. I'll call it false qualifying, okay? I'd rather it be called false qualifying. You're going to positively misinterpret what she says so that she feels good for having invested in you. And you're now, because, you know, you want to redeem her from the tension of negging from the previous phase, that's triggering and priming for A3. You want to reward her for the good behavior of answering your questions, right? So it's called bait, hook, reel, release, and I'm going to teach you this right now. It's very quick. It's a metaphor I use in A3, okay? Every phase has an objective and tools to meet those objectives, and every phase also has a series of cognitive tools. This is the one I use for A3. I'm going to do 2 things in A3. One is I'm going to do my bait, hook, reel, release, and I'm also going to start a C1 routine because I'm phasing into comfort into C1. Murder, Marry, Shag is a comfort routine. So I may do a bait, hook, reel, release, then pause it, do Murder, Marry, Shag, and then go back to bait, hook, reel, release. I'm not going to go bait, hook, reel, release, bait, hook, reel, release, bait, hook, reel, release, which is asking all those questions in a row, right? You bait her with what nationality are you? She answers, she hooks. Because if she doesn't answer, you know, if you say, you know, name something that would make me want to get to know you more, and she goes, oh, there's nothing. I'll say, well, I was just being polite. Polite conversation, little girl. Right? Bait her with the question. She hooks. Reel her in with no way. You're giving an IOI on that. Giving that IOI for the good behavior of her trying to DHV herself to you. Right? And then don't forget the power of any IOI is in the release, which is also known as a calibrator. In microcalibration, you're giving an IOI, but you're calibrating it at the end, and that's the release, because the power of an Aikino is in the roll-off. Right? Bait, hook, reel, release. I use that in A3 in qualifying, in the third phase. A1, open, 15 seconds. A2, 3 to 5 minutes of DHVing and negging. And then you're calming down the negging dramatically because now you're curious and you're starting the qualification, bait, hook, reel, release. Right? And during that, one of your baits is, here, can you join me for a second? She hooks, that's your lock-in. Reel her in with actual telling her the story and captivating for a moment. And then release her from that. And then re-engage again with now comfort routine. Right? Murray shag. And then you go in with the next bait, hook, reel, release. And you fill 8 to 12 minutes of that. Isn't that amazing? That's how I'm doing it. I'm just saying, this is the pattern. You'll never see it. It doesn't look, did it look like I was gaming girls? Or did it look like they were gaming me? Let's be real.
For me, it just looked natural. All the
It just looked like conversation and all that. But did I open? I used false time constraints. Did I get compliance from these people? I'm able to move them. I'm able to get them, meeting you guys. If I go here, meet my friends, meet here. And everyone, oh, hi, my name is. You heard a lot of back and forth exchanges. All that happened with code. Once you see the code, that's code. That's it. IOIs, IODs, DHVs, DLVs. And you're trying to elicit them from her. Right? Okay, and then there's some, what other comfort bits? Games to fill the C1 material.
Did anyone use the cube?
I use the cube.
Which is now deep game,
Yes,
almost mid game.
It was wonderful.
You're now you're now wrestling. It's takedown. You're takedown and you're wrestling, and you're not, isolation with the girl, and she's on your arm. Now, what is the material you're going to use? Vulnerability material, like if I were going to tell the story of when my niece fell down the stairs, broke her jaw, right? It's a 5-8 minute story. We'll do that. It really doesn't look like I'm hitting on her, although we're establishing comfort here, right? Just the physical comfort that I'm getting. I'm accustomed to it, right? So if I'm leaning back and she's arm in arming, I'm saying that's all you got, but I'm telling a story, using my hands, looking up, right? That's working. That's working. Because at the end of that story, when I'm done, I could then take her by the hand, push her off, and say, I have to pee. I'll be back. Right? Oh, here, hold this. Don't be a thief. Right? And stand up and go. And leave her there. Having established that, having demonstrated the willingness to walk away, having rolled off of the kino, so that when I come back, she's going to wait for me to do some sort of kino again. And when it doesn't happen, right, she's going to feel compelled to show an IOI. Otherwise, she can lose my interest. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's game. Right, so once again, in the cheat sheet, you guys used openers. Perhaps you could write Titanic opener. In the cheat sheet, I need right now 3 openers at the top. Get your 3 openers on your little piece of paper. Name them. Do you all have 3 openers? Herman. And Herman is also, would you ever date a guy in a wheelchair? What if it was a blingy wheelchair? What if it had rims? What if it was a wheelchair that goes, on the street? Remember, opinion openers are actually false opinion openers. You can type in PUA opinion openers, and you're going to get a brand of opener on Google, indexed, lists of them, of opinion openers. But they're all false opinion openers. People don't know that.
I did it wrong for years.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
This week.
Right? You're not asking for a response.
I
You're cutting them
always wait
off.
for the compliance,
Yeah.
their opinion.
Yeah, and hoping that this is the miracle that's going to open the set. These are tools for an artist, gentlemen. Your job is to throw an opener, it doesn't work. Well, hell, pull out your bigger opener, No. I've even done this. If something's not working and they're kind of turning off, I'll just say, and cut. Listen, guys, I need more energy on the next one because this is like ridiculously low energy, and I have a very short attention span. And action. Have you guys ever heard of, I know,
On an opener that didn't hit.
yeah. I just go and cut, guys. It's not working for me.
Before that, I have how did you say?
A short attention span.
Attention span.
I have a short attention span.
You say that when the opener doesn't hit, like I'm really more.
Sure, because if I say because it's an IOD, I'm throwing an IOD into the set. I think you would use that to good health. Not being too assholish, just I have a short attention span. Yeah, it's okay. I have a short attention span. Did you know that the rock star David Bowie died?
Also, I find that if you want to do a pre-opener, so something to move in the opener, I'd say, hey guys, would you consider yourselves open-minded and friendly? Get this.
Write it down. It's great.
And I'm nodding as I'm saying it, so that it's going in. Hey guys, would you consider yourself open-minded and friendly? Hey, get this, right? Then opener.
We need some false time constraints. I can only stay a second. I have my friends here. And this is high value male behavior over the shoulder.
I also say, you look like you're in a rush. I'm in a bigger rush. So get this real quick.
Write it down. You look like you're in a rush. I'm in a bigger rush. So get this real quick. I like saying, I'm here with my friends. I can only stay a second. And if I stay longer, they'll say, I thought you had to rejoin your friends. And I say, I'm the tribal leader. They'll find me. So you got some openers, you got some FTCs. Right? False time constraints.
Did anyone use a sharp elbow last night?
For what? Yeah.
What?
You've got a really sharp elbow.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It didn't work. How did you do it?
I pretended, but the girl didn't turn. So
how would you get better at it?
I don't know, make a turn.
No, never. I don't do that. No, practice.
That's it. You could have just done a dozen of them in.
Did anyone do this?
I tried to.
Yeah.
You did it great when you came in. There was one of the sets. It was near the beginning, right? And you came in and did that.
Who saw me close?
Yeah.
Actually, it was your girl.
Yeah.
But I was teasing her all the time.
Where your personality conveyed.
I was swearing at her.
Like said, you've got personality.
But at the end, I don't know who saw the clothes. I was talking to you and she was she was talking to someone and I just was like, near the end, after doing all the, the chatting earlier and winding her up, teasing her, and I just was like, and I ran behind who's in hospital at the moment, isn't he?
Yes.
With kidney stones,
Oh.
which you had in Sweden.
Yes,
So you know the pain.
Kidney stones feel like you've been shot.
Yeah.
You go immediately to the hospital. That's how it works. It's like, I've been shot. Holy, it does not go away, and then hospital and unconscious.
And so I did that, ran behind, and she just ran after me. You were there.
Yeah.
The blonde girl.
Yeah.
His girl. And so I just used the excuse as, I just was like, can you stop following me? If I take your number, will you stop following me? She's like, yeah. Put it in there. Boom. Don't look when they're doing it like, oh, I'm getting a number. Just like, hey, and then chat to your friends, blah, 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 blah. And then she gives you a bang and goes, you took that a while. Were you looking at my photos? So, right.
What else goes on the cheat sheet here? We need some DHV stories. Gave you a bunch, I guess. Any unique ones that you guys, came up with that you wanted to use in field?
Well, I sometimes talk about my travels.
Yeah.
To Las Vegas, Venice. It's a kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, it's one thing to say that you do travels, and I've been to Las Vegas. It's another thing to have a specific story about the time you were in Vegas and this happened.
Yeah.
Each one is a specific thing,
That's
rather
it.
than
I talk
I've
about
been,
staying, going to a big club in Las Vegas and I saw the video. It was wonderful.
Okay.
Amazing.
Right.
Energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What I like doing is throwing in the locations of where I was in a story, kind of to give context to the story, but it's not significant.
Yeah.
You know, meaning the story runs without the location, but I throw the location in like you would throw a name drop in. You know what I mean? So you can do name dropping of locations to show that you travel, right? Just like if Eminem were to talk about any sort of story, he may name drop or drop in the location of his tour bus, right? So the words he uses as part of his lexicon are gonna be associated with him already. So if you're a traveler guy, you're gonna be using the words, you know. And the girls do this a lot too. If they're in travel mode, you'll hear them say Barcelona. No human being has to say Barcelona because we're all in Barcelona. You don't ever have to bore a person by saying those words here. And yet, yesterday, at some point, that word Barcelona comes out of the women's lips. Just a pattern, right? And it shows, in my opinion, it shows that they're insecure, right? Because why mention that? It's like mentioning the weather. That's very beautiful out. Yes, it is. And the reason why they're asking it really is to see how does that person respond? What current emotional state is he in? Right? And if they go, oh, it's beautiful weather, right? And you're like, okay, cool.
I say,
at least we both speak the same language now. I've learned that, right? That's all it's about.
girls like complain about rain a lot, so they're like when we're talking about places or me being English, for example, my soundbite is weather doesn't affect me. I'm English. I'm waterproof. Just use it. Doesn't matter where you're from.
Write it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tight like a muskrat's ass. So what I'm hoping we've learned out of this is the game is made up of sound bites. If you have about 300 text files in your head, you can have a robust pickup system. These text files are openers, false time constraints, DHV routines, right? Qualifier questions, one-liners, games, like the cube, all parts of game, sound bites. So collect them. You should collect hundreds of them like a comedian and repeat them. Hear it, repeat, hear it, repeat. Repeat it 6 to 12 times in a night. The same thing, because the next night you may meet your girlfriend. You know, if you're using new material, you're getting it honed for the hottie. Don't think to yourself, oh, I'm holding back all my good for when the hottie comes. I'm not going to open her. I'm not going to talk to her. I haven't used any of this stuff, but these girls aren't worth it. Why would I make these random, normal people laugh and smile, right? Then you wait for the hottie to come, and now you say this stuff, and it was written on paper, but you haven't said it a dozen times, so it became integrated into your internal and automated response, right? And you can use it more within the context of the interaction, you know? Good comedians, they just know their They don't need a set list anymore, but they're on it in their mind. They have a backup if they have a little micro brain fart, right? These are the tools for getting back on track. I'll give you another tool that's amazing. A default opener. Have a default opener. Know it, because you know, what's my opener? We never want you to have that again. Have a default opener. Whatever it is, circle it. That's the one. Worst comes to worst. 3-second rule. Takes 3 seconds to get from here to there. What am I going to do in those 3 seconds? What's my opener? What's my opener? What's my opener? And then I'll even buy more time by going, hi. That's my pre-opener. Hi. They're like, oh, hi. But the way I say it, I don't go, hi. I go, hi.
And she's like, hi.
And now
no, I meant, are you?
Yeah, exactly. Hi. Are you?
Are you? Your eyes are really...
The other one I'll do is after I say hi, and I'll say, slow it down. I've only got a sec. Now I'm thinking, what's my opener? What's my opener? Because it doesn't matter which one I use, I just have to kind of select one. If I didn't have any time, like there's a girl there, hi. Pinky love. Right? And I'm thinking, what's my next thing? All you got to do is buy the next few seconds so you can make a selection, right? So these are kind of like the pre-openers.
Mm.
You know, you don't know what you're going to use until you pre-open, and now from that moment you have to pick fast.
You seem really worldly. Get this.
You seem really worldly.
Worldly.
Write
Get
it
this.
down.
You're quite fashionable. Get this.
Write that down.
Quite.
You're quite
Quite
fashionable.
fashionable. Get this. You look social. What do you think about this?
The universe is going to present various opportunities for you. Do you catch them or do you let them just pass by? So I'm going to show a little example of something here to do with people. How'd that happen?
I catch an opportunity.
That's pickup. That's pickup. You already can do it. You've been given the tools, but you have to get in that headspace of when the set appears, you catch it. You don't think about it yet. The universe, because that's it. We're making that decision here now before you meet the next set, because you may meet it outside at the front door, where if you didn't work her in those 3 seconds, they would have kept walking. You know, maybe they paused for a second to tie a shoe. He caught it with his cock.
That's advanced game.
That's advanced.
Advanced game.
Even if it takes work, right? See. Okay.
Hey.
Little lead time, so simple, right? Very good. But do you agree with that? That's pickup. Pickup is catching it when it presents itself. So that's why I abide by the 3-second rule. Not because I'm so horny with my dick. I just better open, and I can always, say nice meeting you and leave. I don't have to close everything, right? But at least I've opened it. Have a default opener. Choose it.
But it's not only just catching it, right? It's catching it, throwing it back. Boom.
Yeah.
Just boom, boom.
Like when you
Yes.
open, you don't care if it's a mixed set, if it's girls, you just bam, go.
Most of my material is good for mixed sets. Some material is only good for girls, meaning like female topics, right? Like if I say I want to get a woman's opinion on something, if it's an all-guy set, I can't use that, right?
Yeah.
And if it's 1 girl and 5 guys, and I say I want to get a female opinion on that, I have to do it loud enough to say, look, we're guys. So we are now going to get your female opinion. I can isolate her from it with them on my side, right? Sometimes it's weird if there's three girls and 1 guy, and I say I want to get your opinion on something, a female opinion. The guy can't give his opinion now, so now I've alienated him. So be cognizant of those.
Yeah.
Some material you won't use unless it's a mixed set. Some material you won't use if it's a mixed set.
Your default opener is Titanic and it works for everyone.
I've selected that. It used to be Black Nails was my default opener, because I could just, if the girls are talking, I could just put my hand right in and do that and go first impression, Black Nails, and then start pulling it out already, like I'm about to walk off and say, okay, get this, and I'm already dismissive. Some schmarmy looking woman in the elevator, went in an elevator and said, oh, sorry, it's so old, this fucking material. She saw my black nails and said, are you a devil worshipper? I said, we're going down, aren't we? As I say that, it gets the laugh and I start walking off. And then I say, we were in the elevator, I got it on the 26th floor, 28th floor. So I turn and now reface them. My point is, I'm doing literal body rocking. I open, get their attention, and then start pulling it away, and then one more quick, pulling it away, one more quick, pulling it away, and then turn, because now they've laughed twice, so now I can turn and still walking backwards, 1 step back, continue my story from a distance, right? It's got a good vibe to it, so they know I'm not like just coming in like a creeper begging for change and putting my, planting my feet directly towards the set and staying there. It looks like I'm about to go. That's a great opener for me. I defaulted that for years in Hollywood. It was great. There's also
I put DHV in there because I've used that one.
Okay.
And I
Doesn't
say,
pull Titanic, for example, like you go there and like, listen, get this, and then you just shoot the shit off Titanic.
Have you heard about the Titanic? It's a ship The Titanic, yeah. Did you know there was a sister ship? What was the name of the sister ship? Olympic. Did you know there was another sister ship? It's called Britannic. There's actually 6 ships built, but the first 3, Britannic, Olympic, Titanic. Let's just talk about 2 of them. Titanic, Olympic. Olympic was the first to set sail. It was the first one built. There was a Titanic built prior to the Titanic. Did you know that? Something they don't bother telling you in the movie Titanic, right? Leo DiCaprio doesn't, talk about Olympic. Hey, teach respect, I guess. That's it. I won't go into it right now, but yeah, that's it. You're into it. You just start, you open, and you're into your own headspace. And then you can also, another thing about the opinion opener is it's about me conveying my opinion. Not caring about theirs, but more so giving my opinion. And being opinionated could turn people off. The act of saying, I don't like this, right? Like I don't like girls who wear too much makeup.
Yeah.
You're like qualifying them. You're like, you're being opinionated.
Did anyone use that?
Guys that get laid are opinionated. Guys that get laid are accustomed to beauty, so they can be opinionated to a hot girl. Right?
Did anyone use that?
Several times.
Yeah.
The 3 criteria.
Yeah.
I used it.
And is it getting easier, or did it open? Like, what's the?
I didn't use it as an open.
Yeah.
As
Oh,
an
all right. Did it work?
stage. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they try and qualify?
Yes, I would use it like this. I would say the first 2, and then they would ask, "What's the third? What's the third?" And I'll keep them at it.
Slow down, speed racer.
Slow down, speed racer. I need trust and comfort before.
Yeah.
Stop putting your tongue in my mouth.
But yeah, you can see it working, right?
I have a
See,
question.
when I say put your tongue in my mouth, I'm doing an IOI priming for qualification. Like I know what I'm doing, and I throw it out. Now I know I can work with that from that point forward. It's fast paced in there. Hey,
Mystery.
Close quarter combat with all these multiple groups mergings.
When I go to a club and I see several sets, I would start opening rather for them 2 sets with girls than 3 or 4 sets with guys and girls. Do you have a preference like that you first go for girl sets, or you say it doesn't matter, go just for the first on the left, or?
Well, I choose generally. I want to go into the club. I want to go after the hottest girl in there first.
Okay.
Just because I want to get in and get out.
So what does mean?
I'm going to go in. I'm going to work the hottest girls, and if that means me working an adjacent set in order to do it, because I know having girls with me when I work a hot set is going to allow it to stick to me easier. So if I can do like a pre-DHVing and then go in and close quarter combat with the hottie direct, I'll do that, right? And then I'll work my way down.
Okay.
I go for the hottest girls you don't deserve, those ones, I focus on that girl, see that, she's the hottest girl in here, okay, what can I work with? Okay, I'm doing it direct. Not direct, but I'm going into that set without girls with me. Okay, I'll do that. I'll go in, cold approach, right? Even if I can do over the shoulder. See, over the shoulder generally has context. You're in a group, so you can over the shoulder it. You can't just walk into a strange 2 set and over the shoulder it. Unless you can, it looks like you're walking by and over the shoulder, right? But you need the context to it, otherwise it's weird. Sometimes you just have to go in direct and talk to them and say, hi, I wanted to come over. You seem like you have a nice energy. Let's find out if there's more to you than meets the eye. Or you can go in and say, is it industry night? That's a great opener. Is it industry night?
That's great. I use that.
What does it mean, industry night? I don't.
Exactly. See, now I can get into conversation. Industry night. I'm in the industry. Are you in the industry?
Which is great for strip clubs.
Strip clubs? Because they think, the industry. Strip clubs or nightclubs.
Are you a nightclub owner?
So as soon as you get to the venue, your objective is the hottest girl, and you only open one set. You have to.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'll do more because typically we have dudes with me. The last several ones. If it's just me and him, we'll go in. It'll work differently than if it's the 3 of us.
Yeah.
I do feel the lag feeling, right? Because the girls, I want there to be more girls than guys in our group, right? Because people feel that. It's like those two guys, they're with 4 girls.
Yeah.
Right? And not have them just look like they're stuck on us, but that we've got a girl each on our arms for real, if not 2 on me, 2 on him. You know? So it looks like, well, they came together. That's all I want, right? But failing that, if it's just us 3 dudes, let's do the best we can. Maybe we can open a set on the left and get some girls around us, lock in for a bit, and then from there, work. At least you have a base, you know? But it's all of them. It isn't like which is your favorite or which one do you do. Yes, the answer is yes, I do all of them. I do whatever I can in there, given the resources.
And
Right.
those
With no
hand
excuses,
sets,
you know, just open.
you always open with a set already on your arm. You don't
If you can, if you can, right? Sometimes you can't because you don't have those girls, or it's early in the night.
Okay.
You know, you're going to work the bartender, having not done pre-selection. Well, so you'll try to throw it into your conversation, and you can simply say, when I go to a park, and I look at the beautiful flowers, and I enjoy. That's why I go to a park. I get to look at beautiful people and beautiful things. I don't need to grab them with my hands and rip them out of the soil and bring them home and say, these are mine, because the whole park is mine. That's why I went out there. It's just to walk away. That's beauty to me. Who are you? And that's specialty colors. Like that's it. You just open with an instant. This is my, when I go to a park, that's my opener. When I go to a park, I don't just rip the flowers out of the ground and say, mine. That's my opener. I already convey my personality on that, and then I can stack from there.
You can open with just one word, and then you follow it up with the explanation.
Asshole.
So, yeah.
That's what she said. She needed a tampon. I was discreet. I used that in field. It worked. Stack forward. Stop the set for a few minutes. You know.
So I say one I do is invisible. That's what I chose. If you had one special power, my friend Candy over there, she asked. If you had one special power.
Invisible.
Yeah.
That's my special power that I choose if I were a superhero. Yours?
What would you choose? And now they're like,
That's good.
And you're like, well, maybe it'd be thinking quicker. Maybe that would be it.
Or Herman. That's a deal breaker name. Beatrice. That's a deal breaker name.
Lynn.
Lynn.
Ermintrude.
Tammy Lynn.
Tammy Lynn.
Gertrude.
Clotilde.
Claudette. Would I think I checked.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
How
But Maud.
Maud.
Can you imagine if Baxter introduced his girlfriend to you? Everyone, this is Maud.
How about Candy, Mandy?
Candy. Candace. That's nice. Mandy.
Candy.
Would Hillary be a deal breaker name? Yes, if it weren't for the fact that my Hillary, redefines the name Hillary. Doesn't she?
Mm.
But Hillary would otherwise be a deal breaker name.
I don't know.
Hillary.
It just
Right?
reminds me of Hillary Clinton. That
See
would
what I
be-
mean? Right? It sounds like a deal breaker name if I showed you a picture of Hillary. Who's seen a picture of Hillary? You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
I've
Nice.
seen the video from Amsterdam's bootcamp last year. She
Ah.
was with you guys.
There it is. That girl there. She redefines Hillary. Okay, what else? What else? You see what's on the cheat sheet already. It's developing nicely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now you got something to do tonight. All of it. You have 25 minutes. What else did we put on this cheat sheet?
There's a good one that I
Goes
say.
forever.
That
You know.
because there's only a series of things at the start of a conversation that people normally ask each other. Definitely what girls will ask you. You know, where are you from? What do you do? How old are you? You know, them sort of crap, rubbish questions. So what I do is if I want to find out where someone's from, sometimes instead of saying, where are you from? Because I might have heard it quite a lot. I'll say, your accent's quite interesting. But let me guess where it's from. I want you to say 2 things in your language. And from that, I'm going to guess what it is. The first one I want, deal? And she's like, yeah. The first one I want you to say, in your language, at any speed you choose, because I know you want to try and throw me off, but I'm clever, is, I want a beer for my boyfriend and a cocktail for myself. So can you say that? And then she'll go, now she's in her head, she's saying, I want a beer for my boyfriend and a cocktail for myself. And she's just said that to you. And you go, right, I'm halfway there, I'm halfway there, I'm halfway there. And then I go, right, next one is, tell me how to say, and I triangle gaze, I love you in your language. And then I'll just do this. And then she now says, but I say, this time say it slowly. And then she'll look me in the eyes, and then she'll say, like, I love you in her language. And I'll be like, really? I've just met you. And I say, no, do it again. And then she'll say it again to me, looking in the eyes, I love you. And I go, yeah, that's nice. I just love to know how to say that in every language. I just love, and so I'm throwing it back, I love to know
how to say that
in every language.
Both of those things, I love to know how to say that in every language.
Yeah.
Right? I love you, and, my boyfriend will have a beer.
And then I'll say, okay, I think you're Nigerian Scottish.
Right.
Like that. Or Japanese Irish. Whatever you want to say, okay? And then she laughs, and then you find out, you can make a guess if you think you can get it. If not, you can go, okay, I give up, where is it? Where are you from? She tells you. Now it's easier to flow. And I go, anyway, how about that beer for your boyfriend? And then I go, hey, we should get a drink though, right? This is firstly work talking to you. I'm parched. Let's go. Boom. You've rooted a reason to now go to get a drink with her and bounce her somewhere else. It's firstly work talking to you.
I like to do the walk and talk line when I'm saying walk and talk. If I say, if you had no chance of failure, what would you want to be? Don't say princess. Anything in the world, what would you want to be? Walk and talk. Right? So I ask them the question, and they're thinking about it, they're going to answer it, and I say walk and talk, and I start walking. So they start moving with me as they're answering the question. So it shows my willingness to walk away. I'm giving her that space, but I've asked her the question, she's starting to answer, and I say walk and talk. Right? So she walks, and still finishing her question, and I get her into the walking. Walk and talk. It's a nice little sound bite. Walk and talk. It's good for merging, Walk and talk. I'm going to introduce you to some good people. Walk and talk. Did you come here with friends? Well, introduce me to them. That's a polite thing to do. I can dress you up. I can take you anywhere. Who are your friends? Who are you here with? Understood. Very good. Well, introduce me. That's the polite thing to do. As the social butterflies that we are, I'm sure we can make sure everyone is attended to tonight. I do have my friends with me. I'm sure you're here with your friends. I got an idea. Why don't we have them both meet and supernova explode? Sound like a fun idea? And they're like, oh, sure. This is Tweedledum, this is Tweedledum. These are my sound bites, brothers. This is how you get the technicality of merging a set, of getting her compliant, on your arm, walking. Just get it done, Because I get a lot of people going, how do you move a set? What if they say no? If the guy got shot, that was his mindset, is if nothing can happen, you can't do any of this, That was kind of what it was like. As opposed to, no, all of this has been done already, and it all works empirically. So whether you like that truth or not, you have to live with that truth, This stuff, these are the sound bites that have gotten me the girlfriends I've had in my life. I'm just talking about history here. This is just truth.
All these little sound bites add up.
Yes, 300 of them.
Even if it's 1%, 0.5%, and then, that one's, 10%, that was a big routine, boom. They all add up. until you get the whole piece, which is the goal. They add up.
Can I sing a little ditty? It's a little piece. It's something I had written in my head and something I use in field. It's a reason to isolate. See if this sticks in your head. All right? I can hear it and there isn't even music. I can hear it and there isn't even music. I can hear it and there isn't even music. I know, hot game. I can hear it and there isn't even music. I can hear it and there isn't even music. I can hear it. I know, hot game. I know they're allowed to get me. I know they can never see my light. Oh no, it's about to blow and the pot's about to boil oil. Let's go, breathe in, the universe is seething. Hot mess, we're dancing on a bloody floor. Get dressed, tonight we dig a hole cause the bouncer likes the bowl. Oh no, let's go. I can hear it and there isn't even music. I can hear it and there isn't even music. I know, hot game. Woo! Did that, don't know why, and I do that in field.
I saw you doing that the other day. I think it was the first night with the...
Okay.
I don't remember the girl, but I was hearing you do it.
Did it hold the set?
Yes.
What do you call that? Just saying, it's part of a music game. Throw it in. I do that. Does it help? I don't know. Captivates them for a while, and I'm not hitting on them. I'm singing. Should we take a break?
Yes.
Here are mine. Yes. And I'm going to grab a Coca-Cola when we get back. Taking the time, like I did, to teach it. To the guy, not the girls. You know, it's guy time. And then he'll give you his girls. Because you've actually taught him something that is like awesome for his friends and stuff. You know, and you're doing it with the alpha male of the group. Like, it's the biggest guy, and you're taking the time to, all right, come with me, I'll show you something cool. You know?
One question, the videos you are taping, are you putting them online? Or?
I don't know what's going on, we're just recording. We basically have loads of footage on hard drives that we never have the time to edit. So,
but we will now.
There's years and years, you know.
We've got 3 people that are now willing to edit everything. Okay. But before we never had. And we're always too busy. It just stacks up.
Yeah, I know what. But they say if your life's worth living, it's worth recording.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, that's another thought. Gentlemen, it's important for you to do this. But we haven't done this at all. We should. Record your pickups.
I do that already.
Yeah.
But only audio.
With audio. Record your pickups. Get a recorder. Have it. Turn it on before you leave the house. And let it run all night. Get one of those recorders. Just $40 separate from your phone. Unless you want to use your phone, you know, put record on. In your pocket, get the microphone if you need to, set it up, and then forget about it. Turn it on and forget. Don't turn it on before you do the thing to save, you know, in memory and battery. Get it out of your head, forget about it. A neat thing with it is you can say to a girl, for a phone number exchange, in time constraints, if you got to do it quick, tell me your number, I'll remember it. And they say the number, and you repeat it, and and I say, okay, it's in there. You know, I repeat it once, I go, 7 da 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 da, got it. And then they say, okay, say it again, and I say, don't worry about it, it's in here.
But then
and then keep talking, and then talk about other stuff. But you got it as a backup.
Yeah.
You know, it's important.
But mystery, if you do that, when you come home, then you will have 4 hours of audio, and then you have to still go through it and say, okay, where was it?
But when you drag and drop it, it's audio. It's not even video. Video editing you can do on an iPhone.
You mean time?
You can see the entire time. The 4-hour clip is only 4-hour clip. That's all it is. So or 6 hours. So you can see where you were in the car.
Yeah.
Then you see when you go in. Then you see when you went to the washroom. You can see it. You see your 6 hours. I want you to really, ultimately, in training, look at the whole night. That's why debrief's so important. It's to say, what did we do wrong that we could have done right? Because guess what? We didn't pull. There was no pulling. It's hard to pull there. But at the end of the night, why couldn't we all have some sort of dredge of humanity to pull? You know,
I do want to actually say
what
that
went wrong?
that's such a high octane club. There's not many in the
That's
world
exactly it.
that are that busy, that that many men in one place at one time.
Oh yeah.
And if you apply that in the game that you have in the VIP club, where there's not so much hustle and bustle and so on, and you've got more time to speak to the girl, you've got places to lock in, and you're dealing with hotter sets, what this game is made for,
We're being there.
you
raises your
will
value.
snag some very beautiful girls.
So these kind of venues you don't recommend?
I don't, but for
wait,
training,
I recommend for training. So keep going to the
Yeah.
Saddle Ranch on
You recommend
Saddle Ranch on
training
Sunset
just because of the
Training.
number of people.
because it's a holodeck and you can do a dozen sets, right? You go and it's lifestyle. It's like I have to get honed, and to get the real hotties. And I just promise you guys, you have to be honed.
think about it like
Going to
football.
the Playboy Mansion, you want to have done 6 weeks, 4 nights a week for 6 weeks, so that you feel like my material's honed, I'm social, I'm going to the Playboy Mansion, I'm not gonna waste this time, I'm gonna talk to half a dozen sets at least.
But think of it like this.
Some hook.
Imagine it's football, right? Do you want to be, if you could, like that club is like playing in the top leagues. So, because it's just hard. It's a hard place. So man, that's what the opponent you want to play against to get good. So then when you go to the amateur team, which are the 10s really, because there's, I see it that way, it's, you're scoring goals. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's like, these girls have said no so often, that when they decide yes to you, yes is yes. It'll feel weird to have a 10 hitting on you, and you have to not just take it, because then she'll lose interest and get buyer's remorse, but you have to actually say to a 10, slow it down. I need comfort and trust before you hit on me like that. And she gets reactive because that never happens, right? And so she starts chasing you. You're gonna be hit on by hot girls, and you have to act as if you're accustomed to it. And then accept her reluctantly because she said things beyond her beauty, Then at some point you can do the IOI compliance test of grabbing her hips and going, right? And then rolling off to see if she touches your legs then. Or take her hands, put them on your legs. If you're seated at a bar stool, and pull her close, but then push her 1 inch away. Don't just pull her towards you and hope she comes. You can grab her, I can grab her, one of her hooks, and pull her close. But when I do pull her close, I go, no. And then I always push 1 inch further away. That's good. Give me your hands. That's all you get. Curious about something, and then I can talk. But I've got the base here. I've got the keynote already established, right? Then I can lean back. Where you're leaning forward is to talk to her, but then you can lean back to make her have to want to lean in towards you now. And now you're up close. This is a close quartered keynote, Okay. Right. So, excuse me here.
Yeah,
We're going to continue on with the structure, and I'm going to draw a little diagram. If you can kindly pass that, it's perfect. That's great. Okay. So there are 3 physical locations. There's the attraction location. There's the comfort location, and there's the seduction location. The location is like, that's the roof, right, over this space. Now, A1, A2, A3 happen here, right, beginning, middle, and ending of attraction. Then I have to move to the nearby C1 location, comfort location, right? And that move, I'll do it this way, right? We're going to go to here. We're going to move her into C1. So forgive me on that one, right? Attraction location, A1, A2, A3, move into slowing down our conversation, going down a chunk into our C1 location, and here we are.
Sorry, what is that?
M is a phase, and it's moving. It's a phase in itself, but it's like a mini phase, right? It's getting the job done. If just sitting down with them because they're seated is all you need to do, then that's the move. It's just to join them, right? But it's basically to lock in. Yeah, when I'm done,
We'll show it,
take
yeah.
a photo of it.
I'm just recording.
Oh, understood, thank you. Right, so, and how many times will that happen? This is a multiple move loop. The whole point of attraction is to get into comfort and to stay in comfort for as long as she needs you to stay in comfort before you can move into seduction, right? But sometimes you can't move into seduction because in the attraction location, you're moving into the nearby comfort location, the quiet area where you would sit, and then you can move into the bathroom, seduction location, a private place to actually do it, right? Unless she wants to just pull it out there, right? But assuming a girlfriend won't, if your girlfriend of 2 years won't have sex with you in a bathroom stall, don't expect a quality girl you've just met to do that. You can, it's technically possible, but you're compromising the 7 hours it takes to go from here to here, generally speaking, right? That takes 7 hours. That's pickup right there. It's attract, comfort, seduce, right? In the 3 separate locations. But how do you jump from location to location? One way, and the first way, is to use the move. So you move into comfort. And then you may do multiple moves. Go upstairs, move, go downstairs, move, go onto the dance floor, move. But it's all, this whole area here is pickup. Mid-game is, we're going to add the 2 other, this way, the 2 other phases, which is time bridging and bouncing. That's it. You can move, time bridge, and bounce. That's all there is. So you're in A1, A2, A3, move into C1. Now you can do a multiple move into another C1 location, right? I like to do multiples. But now what are you going to do? Are you going to bounce her out to another venue? Now it's a C2 location, right? Or are you going to time bridge, get her phone number, and the other side of the time bridge is a location, another location to agree upon to meet, which is another C2 location, so that you can build comfort on a day 2. This is called a dating loop. Because you're going on a date, you're getting a number to see her in another time. And the other time is back at another comfort location, right? Or you're bouncing her out that night to another comfort location. We're going to go have a bite to eat, come with us. Okay. Then you could get her number as well, but bounce again, having gotten her number, knowing that this is primed. But this is the one that takes so long. This is this is a dating loop. This is a multiple venue loop. And this is a multiple lock-in loop. That's it. That's how you get. You either use moves, which are small bounces, or you use the bigger bounce, which is more investment. I like to do bounces by halfway through the night usually. This time is like the club. Pulling a girl at 6 in the morning, you're getting dregs of humanity. You're not getting women who have lives. You know what I mean? It's odd here to go there and not start gaming until 2 a.m. The reason why LA actually closes at 1:45 is because people have real lives. It actually ends at 2 a.m. Like you go home, if by 2 a.m. you don't have a girl on your arm, you're then doing the dregs for 15 minutes outside, and then you're going home. That's it.
They're kicking you out by half one.
It ends because it's party all the time there. It's Hollywood. But it's also production all the time there, So they have to balance that, and they do that by just cutting it
What time
early.
does it start?
I want to get there by 10.
But it's
Because by 10:30, it's great for me at 10. I want to get in by 10, because by 10:30 it's starting to fill. By 11, you can't get in anymore. By 11 p.m. you can't
work
get
the
in.
next day.
Oh, it's great.
4 hours.
And in my country, it starts like
This is
1
this
a.m.
this this whole culture is designed for drunken slobs. This is just you're not supposed to serve anyone after 2. They're serving people, and they're beer on the street. It's dregs of humanity stuff. That's what this is. But great for trading. Wait till you get to the Playboy Mansion. It's going to be a different vibe. You're going to go, oh my God, these girls are gorgeous. And they want to meet guys who are at the Playboy Mansion, cool guys like you. Especially when you smile, right? And guess what? There's reason to smile. You're at the Playboy Mansion. You can't keep that grin off you anyway with you and your wingman,
Right. But the good thing about it finishing at 2 as well is you have an excuse to invite someone for an after drink.
Exactly.
You're not doing that at 6 a.m. Do you want to go back for a drink? 6 a.m.
Party's coming with me. Party's coming with us.
Difficult.
Or it's nice for me to if a girl likes him, as an example, I could say Baxter will be there. Party's coming with us. Baxter will be there. I'm simply structuring an opportunity for the girl to get to the next venue where he's going to be to pursue him. That's a bounce. We're going to bounce them rather than time bridge, get a number, and hopefully you should see her again. But this is it. That sound is horrible. This is pickup. This here is mid-game, and this part is end-game. A1, A2, A3, move into C1, that's pickup. And then you get a phone number. And then if you bounce her, you're already off into mid-game. And in mid-game, you bounce to a C2 location, right? And then you go outside into the patio, you've moved into another C2 location, right? And you can bounce to your house, C3. But if she feels discomfort, you're not ready to move into seduction, right? Then you can bounce out back to another C2 location. You're in mid-game comfort. The whole point in this game is to get attraction, move into comfort, being in comfort as long as you need, usually 6 hours of comfort, and allowing for you doing multiple venues, multiple moves on multiple occasions if necessary, to handle all those logistics to keep getting back into comfort and kino escalate, roll off, kino escalate, roll off, kino escalate, roll off, get her kinoing you and chasing you. And then when that's happened and she's comfortable enough having bounced to your house, bounced back to a bite to eat, going back to your house, finally she's comfortable at your house, the kino's good, the makeouts have happened, the roll-offs have taken place, all the comfort's done, now you can move into seduction. And in fact, she will seduce you. If you get attraction and comfort, she'll seduce you. Pickup is this part, mid-game is this part, end-game is this part. That is brilliant because you can split that A1, A2, A3, move into C1, C2, C3, and then finally move into S1, S2, S3. The beginning of this is arousal. I'm not trying to arouse her by making out with her in here. I may make out with her, but I'm going to say, we better slow this down, you know, because I've got pre-cum.
I want to ask you the energy levels. Like, I understand in attraction we have high energy. In comfort, is it lower energy, or
It's kind of why I kind of, in my mind, it's like what Neil and I would call phase shifting. When you go into C1, I'll start talking more slowly because I want to bring her heart rate down now. I want it to be more two people getting to know each other because they're interested in each other. You're into film school, I'm into film school, you know? I'm into film school students. That's what, right? So you have some commonalities. I love films. What are your films? What films are you into? No way, okay, have you seen this one? What were your thoughts on this? What were your thoughts on that? Right? So I'm all phase shifting to slower talk. Now, when I phase shift, I think of it like grabbing a big switch, you know, big dual pull switch and just going crank. I'm now changing my personality. I'm going from all this high octane stuff to, I'm now going to slow her down. I'm going to lead her mind with my words, add pauses, and do it this way, slower and quieter. Because I want to get kino, I want to get the snuggles happening. I may have to roll off and rejoin the friends with her on the arm, right? But at least I've gotten her to the C1 location. We've started it. I can move her back to it again and again and again. This is also mergings. You can forward merge, right, to another location. Because to me, that's comfort. If I backwards merge, that's the sit-down comfort location that my friends are at. That's why I'm backwards merging her, to get her into a locking position so that I can occupy all the obstacles with the last set or with the set I came with, and isolate, and then phase shift. I'm in C1 now. That's what I'm working on. I'm not going to worry about the A2 negging, 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, because it's two people fighting. I don't want to fight. I want to get along with her. I want to hit on her. I just want her to appreciate that, and that's why I put her through the qualification. Make sense? But this here answers everything. You got to get good at A1 opening so you can get to A2. You're being permitted to talk. And you need to use negs, disqualify yourself, to buy more comfort, so you're allowed to DHV. And your DHVs are more believable because your bragging spikes are peppered with, blowing my nose. What are you going to watch, you sicko? And then moving off into qualifying her, the mirror opposite of A2. You're now starting to qualify her and move off into C1 to finish your qualifications, because you're merging that along with your C1 material, right? You can't just do qualification, bait hook release. You got to do that once, do comfort, do another one, do comfort, another one, do comfort, and then you're off into just your deep comfort game. And then you're dealing with the time bridge, get the number, and giving a reason to see each other again, even if that you never do that. Friends and I were getting together on Sunday for a 2 p.m. brunch. Let me get your number. I can text you the info. Bring your friends if you'd like. Right? You don't ever have to do that. You can call her that night and say, who sings this song? You spin me right around the... Okay, well, figure it out, ask somebody. Bye. Click. That's a much better way of making a phone number real, you know, turning it into, I've used it and it definitely works to reach her. I like doing it that night rather than waiting 2 days. No. But you also don't say, it was really nice meeting you. You know, that's formal. You just instant report. Reopen. That's what openers are for. Reopen the same set on the phone. Right? This is genius. This is it. This is your future. This is your next girlfriend. Right? This is your next girlfriend. You're going to time bridge and see her again on a day 2. You're going to walk down the street. You're going to take her to the mall and grab a bite to eat. And you're going to pick up a shirt for yourself and head to the bank. And she's going to head to the bank too. So you might as well do chores together, right? And then you're going to bounce as many times as necessary to get in here. And finally, you're in C3. You bounce back to your place and you start moving off into S1, arousal, then handling last-minute resistance, and finally, sex. S1, S2, S3. And there you have it. That's your next girlfriend. Whether you like it or not. Here's the crazy thing is, you can say, yeah, it's a metaphor. Yeah, it's the actual last girlfriend you had. You had to open her. That was the beginning of it. You opened the last girl you had sex with. You opened. Or someone gave her to you. You had to say a word. Hi, maybe. You know, who are you? Something happened, right? You obviously had to demonstrate some higher value. You obviously had to have given her the comfort to get to know you, right? Something took place to trigger attraction, right? You may have qualified her at some point, you know, like at least does she live near you? You know? Otherwise you didn't have sex with her, right? You must have moved the set at some point. People have to eat, people have to go to the washroom. You got into a sit-down comfort situation with her before sex at some point, I'm presuming, the last girl you were with. You see, it's all here. This is what you did. So now that you can see it clear as day from above, this is what we're trying to pull off. You did A1, A2, A3, move into C1, and you practice that. But the game is won in comfort. You're going to have to actually play in C1, C2, C3.
These C2 locations.
Using these 3 ways of getting there.
You plan them outside the phone?
Yes.
Outside the phone? Like you invite the girl not when you're with her? Not by phone?
Yes, exactly. You don't go for a phone number and then come up with something to do later. No, you give her the reason of why you need the phone number because something you're doing later, you're getting her back to C2, right? You're getting the agreement to see you again, give her a reason, and then you get the number in order to solidify that.
And you don't text them at all?
I like to minimize text. You know, I don't like to have lengthy dialogue and text, and a phone number exchange takes place. You
have to at least confirm if she's going to attend.
Yeah, of course. You know,
you do that through text. Or
I personally believe that the best way to interact with a girl is with Skype. Getting their Skype ID because it's the same phone. I don't have to do text because there's the button here that I press and I can actually see her face. So I'll do that.
Use Skype here.
Huh?
They don't use Skype.
Everyone uses Skype. You tell them to. Do you have like video phone? Do you have video phone on your phone?
Yeah.
Have you ever used it? Yeah. Okay, well, guess what? I have a short attention span. I don't do lengthy dialogue with text. I'm not a girl. So we use text for, if I'm going to send you a link to a location, we're having a party, here's the address, I'll send you that. But otherwise, just get me on the horn quick. Don't waste my time because I have a life. See my reframe? I have a life. And if I call, you answer. And if I call, and if you call, I'll give you the courtesy of answering, all right? If it's an ID that's blocked, I won't answer. So make sure it's from this number, otherwise I don't answer. Just because I have a life, I have things to do, and I'm not one of these type of men that care about this. If we're going to see each other again, then we'll see each other again. If not, it was a pleasure meeting you.
And it's the only
You
communication
have to be.
have.
It is what it is.
You
You're
can
closing
video.
hard at that point. Either the number's gonna work or it's not, right?
But on
So
the phone,
FaceTime,
is
Skype.
the only communication you have through phone is for the invitation, but these little report things you were talking
No,
about.
you know what? I just want to minimize all that so that I can get to see her again. You know, because there's nothing like having a text exchange where a game is being played. Oh, did I get an IOI from that one? You know, did I give an IOI, an IOD? You can lose the set by texting. As opposed to, guys, she's more important than a little text game, you know? It's not like you're just trying to hook up, have sex. You're supposed to be respecting this individual as a potential girlfriend.
So-
You're gonna fall in love with her.
But this reaching out you were talking about, like in the same night, with the song open.
Right.
What is that for?
Well, if you get an exchange, a contact exchange, you wanna call her that night. You know, at the end of the night, she's leaving with her friends, I'll call her there, right outside. Make sure it works, right? And say, quick question. Yeah, Eric, quick question. Who lies more, men or women? Okay, get this.
Is
And
that
you
to
don't.
prevent buyer's remorse? Or,
What does it do? It's to show my interest, to make sure that it's working. Because if it's not, I'll say, hey, you little asshole, did you just give me a fake number? That's possible to happen, right? I just don't want to wait 2 obligatory days. Where you wait for 2 obligatory days, you're waiting, and then 2 days later you finally call and say, oh hey, how are you doing? That's weird. As opposed to, no, the reason I'm calling is because we were going to do this on Thursday. Magic Castle is on Thursday. My friends are all dressing up right now. What are you wearing?
but on the same night, you're not going to speak about the today.
No, what I'm going to do is run another opener to create that illusion of instant rapport.
To set the things that we call
And-
call each other and it's okay.
And exactly, just make it feel as normal as possible. Another thing I like to do is tell the girl when you get home and you get settled in and you're lying in bed, but before you sleep, at that time, I'll most likely be around that time too, decompressing. Give me a ring, I want to hear your voice before I go to bed. It's fun. Enjoyed that throughout
It's
many
not
years.
too much for the first.
No, because passionate relationships begin passionately. It's 2 people who like each other. If you spend an hour and a half talking to her, you can continue that for another hour and a half on the phone. I've had girls nod off on the phone. You know, middle of the night talking for an hour and a half. Slow talk.
I've done it. I've fallen asleep.
You know, talking to girls, you're in bed, talking to her all night long, you know, letting her fall asleep.
But do you use?
And then she'll apologize, oh, I fell asleep on you. And like, yeah, you did, but I liked it.
Do you
You
believe
were
that there
snoring.
is,
And I, you know, I feel like I'm watching you sleep almost, you know what I mean? It was just nice to be lying in bed. It felt like I was lying next to you. You know, I'm gaming her, a comfort game on the phone, if you can do it. But voice back and forth is much more real.
But don't you think that girls these days have this already? They have anxiety to speak on the phone.
Yeah, and so what I'm
It's
trying to
not,
do is get them accustomed to it, make it feel normal for them. It's an art form to get them on the phone and get her used to answering the phone. They're like you said, nervous, right? So maybe they'll never pick up the phone, and they're never gonna get a cock in their pussy ever. Now what? Well, now you have to go find a girl that will. Because the phone has gotten in the way of actual 2 spirits meeting and sharing in saliva. Because of the phone. I don't want the phone to be in the way. I want to minimize text, explain to her as I'm closing that I have a short attention span, that I don't do lengthy dialogue, and if you get a call from me, I'll say, usually I want to keep my conversations brief. So if I call, I'll say I'm calling you in 3 minutes. I'll send a text message saying, calling you in 5 minutes, or I'm free in 5 minutes. Expect a call. They'll get that, and then 5 minutes later, I'll call. And if she doesn't answer, I never call again.
That's it.
That's it. You're done.
You never re-engage like 1 month later.
Listen, yeah, sure, I'll give it a go, right? But if it's a stale number, it's a dead number. The idea is if I call a girl and I say come over, and she says I can't, then she's going to lose me to another girl. I'm going to hang out with a girl.
Unless she suggests another day.
Another day, which is absolutely fine, but still that night I'm going to do something. Because remember, when I invite a girl out somewhere, I'm going to most likely say, meet up with friends. My friends are previous girls. They're girls.
Do you feel that
I
sometimes
gotta think back to the LA the time, you know.
when you invite her with friends, isn't that like a bigger compliance hoop? Like sometimes she wants
You know
to go,
what?
but
This is really
she
good.
doesn't
Really
have
good.
friends to.
I know where you're
Come
coming
with-
from, and I lost a girl once who was a playmate, a Playboy model, because I said to her, you know, and I made out with her and all that, right? Beautiful girl. I said, you know, meet up with me, and I'm going to be at a certain place, XYZ Club, at a certain time. I'm going to be there with friends, and come on down. And she said, oh, I can't make it. I said, okay, well, perhaps another time. Then I did that again, and she said I couldn't make it. Perhaps another time. Third time it happened. I gave her a month, you know. I gave her another opportunity. Perhaps another time, just right. And then I just gave it up. A month later, I bumped into her, and I said to her, just, you know, why? You know, I structured an opportunity to be pursued, and she said, I just wanted to be alone with you. Right?
Yeah, but
Exactly. So what I had done from that point forward is given two options. The alone time or the out with friends time. So in LA, the example is, on Thursday, my friends and I are headed to the Magic Castle for and giggles. To be honest, I'm a magician, so I'm friends with magicians. And I went last week with my friends, but we got there late and I missed my magician friend's show. But he's only there for 2 weeks. So he's here this Thursday, one last time, before they switch magicians, right? And I have to be there. I'm going to be there with my friends on Thursday. So you're more than welcome to come. Now, if you do come, keep in mind, you know, we'll come pick you up beforehand. You have to not wear spaghetti straps and show your skin, because it's the type of stodgy place where I'm going to be wearing a suit and tie. That's how you get in. It's a private club. See my game here, right? And if you would rather just hang out with me, perhaps before that, on Tuesday, this is an industry mixer happening, and I'm meeting up with friends, but afterwards, before I head home, because the next day I've got some writing I have to take care of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time constraint. Why don't you come on down? We'll meet there and we can have some drinks. So I
that's
give options.
that thing that you mentioned. I'm gonna go out, and then afterwards, before I get home,
Mhm.
is that for you not to lose value if she flakes on you?
I don't want to be in a
Like,
situation.
I was going out anyway.
That's exactly it. As if I'm not going to set up a situation where it's her coming to a place, me coming to a place, so that we can get to know each other in a formal manner. I don't do that. I have social life. You know what I mean? I want to have more fun. That's just me. I have a short attention span, and also if she doesn't show up, I would be like a fool sitting there. Have you ever been stood up? I don't allow it. I just don't live in that world of being stood up. Because if she didn't show, fine, she didn't show, but at least I still have friends and girls, and you know.
Do you
won't
ask
miss
her
her.
why did she miss the event? Or
Usually,
just,
if that occurs and you get stood up in that way, I'll say, you know, I'll test. I have tested numerous times where I'll say, I'm so sorry I didn't show.
You say?
Yes. I'm
like to reframe it.
That's right. I'm so sorry I didn't show. I know you're pissed at me. I'm so sorry. And then she'll say, you know, either lie, and then I catch her on that, right? But either way, all I do is minimize it and say no biggie, because on Wednesday I just structure another opportunity to be pursued. But now that I've said that, I'm going back 10 years, because when you build a solid game plan here, you don't get that. I get come over, bing, 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 the girl comes over. It's that easy. The girl's chasing me. It's high value. You do high enough value. Guys, I didn't run any of my DHV game. I ran some Flash game. You know, if these girls knew that I've dated supermodels, they felt that. If any of you say, do you see that guy? Yeah, his last girlfriend was a supermodel. He dated Randy Swinnpool. His last girlfriend was Miss November. Who's Miss November, but it still hits, right? If they knew that, they'd feel different. They'd feel curious. I wasn't using hard-hitting DHVs. I didn't talk about the fact that I've done 17 hours of national television in America, that I'm a host of a VH1 television show. I wasn't using any of that. You know, I wasn't doing hard-hitting DHVs.
But why do you exchange Skype when you could exchange Facebook and she could look
Facebook's
and see
great.
8,000 followers or something?
Hey,
like that?
Facebook's great. I love Facebook.
You can make video calls on it.
It's a soft, exactly. It's a soft close, because it just, get them on Facebook. And then you can actually use the audio. You know, you just speak to them. dude, it's great. It lasts 60 seconds, and you do instant rapport stuff. Not, it was nice meeting you, right? You just instant conversation. Hey, we were talking about this. Did you find out about that yet? Okay, well, I need the link to something. I'm going to show it to my friend. Remember you talked about the Quentin Tarantino movie? Well, what was the name of the editor? Just
That's
call
what
back.
they do when they try to reinitiate conversation.
Right, just call back to already existing things. The other neat thing is when you do multiple threads. When you do captivates. When you do multiple threads, you start a story and you run it, right? What happens when you end it? You're like, oh, I finished the story, and you have that awkward pause because you got to start a new story. It's weird. So what I like to do instead is halfway through, pause it, start another story, right? And then pause that, and then I can go back to this one and continue it. And if I finish it, I go, okay, it's better than starting a new one. I can go to a previously open thread. I can say, where were we? Oh yeah, well, I still haven't even talked to you about the Hollywood sign. You know, like touching it for good luck. Why is that good luck? And I can go back to a previously open thread and continue that, pause that. Only when I pause it do I cut myself off to start a new story. This is normal. This is called multiple threading. It's basic and advanced. The basic part is you got to use it tonight. The basic part is it's built into us now. Multiple threads, multiple ideas, right? Back and forth. It's multiple threading is a rapport building thing. It's what you do with your friends, with people you feel comfortable with, right? That's what makes it basic, is that you gotta use it. What makes it advanced is that you need this routine handled, you need this routine handled in your head, this routine, because you're gonna run 3 routines. Like if I were to say, in your mind, think of a chalkboard or a blackboard. Are you creative? Are you creative? Creative. Are you a creative sort? Can you draw?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Think of a number, we'll start small, from 1 to 4. Don't say it, just draw that number that you're picturing on the blackboard in your mind. Fair?
Yeah, one number.
Just whatever you're thinking. Okay. If you had no chance of failure, you could be anything in the whole wide world, what would you want to be? Hold that thought. 3. Let's try this again. Erase the number. New number, this one, from 1 to 10. It's the first number that pops in your head. Draw it on the chalkboard. But imagine it. Visualize it.
I would like to travel around the world all my life.
Just constant 24/7 travel. Would you travel with luggage or with a backpack?
With a backpack.
With a backpack?
Yeah.
Because it gives you more options.
Yeah.
There are places that I would want to go. Now, I'm a socialite. I'm social. I'm a city person. But my interest in travel has to do with the nature places, the places that are far away, hard to get to, like Patagonia. I have a fantasy of going to, which you have to know. I want to go to Patagonia, Argentina, South America, right? Are you picturing that chalkboard? I'm picturing the number 7. What was it?
8.
This is irrefutable evidence that ESP, mind reading, is bull.
It's 8.
Yeah, it's bull, dude. You know, dress them up, can't take them anywhere. Dream on. See, that's it. It doesn't matter whether you get it right or not. No, thank you.
The first one.
I know. It's different on everybody, but it doesn't matter to me. Because it's just me running material while I'm running material here. I'm showing you multiple threading to run 2 different conversations at the same time. This is normal. I know both routines separately, but I merged them together, a little here, to keep everyone interested. Because if there's a new person coming in, I can run material, right? Just to occupy this person quick, and it keeps my brain interested, and I get to multiple threads. So if I run out, if this conversation ends, I can then say, are you creative? You draw a chalkboard. Think of a number from 1 to 10. Now you draw a chalkboard, think of a number from 1 to 10, and then on the count of 3, the 2 of you say the number. Right? How long have you 2 known each other? How long have you 2 known each other? Do you know each other well enough to finish each other's sentences?
I don't understand, sorry.
Enough about me. What do you think of me? Don't answer that. It was rhetorical. I'm pooping words right now. But notice this, the stacking of this, you're in control of it. That's all I'm trying to demo here. So what this does, multiple threading, it protects you. Now notice, you get it? You see the pattern here? We were a group, right? We had this talk, and this talk. I paused this talk to do this and this to demonstrate this. That's genius. That's what you're all going to do in field, is multiple threading to keep everybody interested. If you lose track of somebody, you can throw keys at them.
Yeah.
It's all coming together here? Right. Do this because it protects you from conversational lockout. You always have something to say. And the reason why I like doing this is this one I haven't finished yet, and I'm telling this one, I'll pause this one, I'll open this, I have, pause this one. Now when I'm done and I say, okay, listen, I gotta get going. So, I finish up by getting the phone number, right? So we can continue again. I can then say, we have so much to talk about. And she'll look back and go, yeah, we haven't finished that, we haven't finished that. Get it? So we're like, I can say to her, I can talk to you forever. I can't listen to you, but I can talk to you forever. You make it really easy to talk to you. I really enjoy you. The first impression was neutral, but now that I get to know you, I just enjoy you. You make me feel good. In fact, I'll let you in on a little secret before I go. When you went to the washroom, instead of in that moment of lull, instead of my initiating conversation with all the awesome random people around me, I just waited quietly here to let it sink in that I actually felt like I missed you, and that felt neat. I indulged in that horrible feeling of I missed you. So I know that when I'm on my way home, I will be thinking of you. And you'll be thinking of me. Okay. Isn't this good? That's it. That's multiple threading.
I heard you yesterday use a routine. I have a thought for you, for the girl, and then and then you let it hang. I was curious, how do you then close this? Because
she came back.
Yeah.
But I was being mauled, and she was seeing it, but she wasn't seeing me make out. She was just seeing me being busy and going, oh, okay, help me, right? So she just never got a chance to come back to me, and I didn't get a chance to go to her. So that's, in my opinion, it was 95% on. I was pre-selected by women, leader of men, willingness to roll off, demonstrated, go back to your friends. But your friend Ashy would know her, right? And I'm sure we can get her back. She's on camera, that girl. So the way I would have done that is she would have come back, and my intuition about her is, I bet a lot I bet you a lot of people have stereotyped you and think you have life a lot easier than you do. That's the RJ one. When that's not the case in point, you've had to try that much harder to get all the things you want in life, and then add to it the illusion that it was all just handed to you, right? You weren't given a silver spoon in your mouth. You had to get what you have in life, even though everyone thinks it was handed to you because you're just naturally beautiful. That's not the case in point at all. That's all. That's my intuition. But I also like saying I have an intuition about you, but go run along, don't piss your boss off, go make your money, and come back and find me, and I'll explain to you what I see. Right? That has gotten girls to, okay, tell me about me. Right? Re-engage. Yeah, you. It's always you, Miss Popular. Good stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of piecing it together. For the last 2 days, we've been doing infield, one by one. Like opener, routine, right? It's just like a timeline, one way. But when you think of it in multiple threads, now you can control several groups, several different stories, tap them, bring them in, keep it interesting, keep some conversations open. There's just more maneuverability in all that. And it's more fun and more fast. Sometimes I'll pause and say, oh, I love that song. You hear this song? Right, where were we? Oh yeah, we were talking about me. I'll just pause. It's called fractionation. You fractionate. It's like breaking it up like this. But it's like these little bits to show that your attention span is a little short, and they have to keep you entertained too. Girls love it. Girls do that. They're talking to you and they go, "Oh, I love this song," and then continue. They just do that. So I do that to girls. It seems to get their attention again when it's short.
I think for men it's very annoying.
It is annoying, you know. But I act like a girl. I act like a girl, like a, you know, short attention span girl. Okay. Anything? Any other thoughts coming from this? Any other thoughts? Okay. Because I can keep going. There's different phases and material. Closing though with the structure. You saw that picture of the structure. And this is one picture. But that there, you have any questions about that? Your next girl, you got to open, false time rating, right? DHV, neg, qualify, right? Do some comfort material, move into comfort, right? Kino escalate, get a phone number and a location, a reason to date her again, but maybe bounce her that night. Do you know where you're going to take her to? You should know that before you leave the club, leave the house, right? Where's the eatery? Where's the local place to grab a bite to eat? What are you going to do if you're successfully pulling the girl out? Going to take her straight home? Or maybe you have to get some food down her throat. Know that place, right? And then finally, when you get her back to C3, your location, your living room, is it set up? Do you actually have it set up so you can move off into arousal? You know, if it's not, you may lose the girl at home. Some guys will lose the girl because you look like a frat boy. It looks like a frat house. And your one plant is dead. When a girl comes over and sees you have a plant, one, and it's dead, how can you take care of her if you can't take care of a plant? You know? Or worse, no plant. Then there's no girl has ever been here. Every house has a plant, doesn't it? Maybe not. You're like, no, not in my starship. I don't have I don't have a plant, right? You need a plant. We're dudes though. Like I don't want a plant, right? What if I'm away for a month? Get a plant.
Can it be mushrooms?
Cactus. Can it be a cactus? Yes, it can. But you know what else is nice? Go buy an orchid. When was the last time you bought an orchid for your own home environment? Right? But you did. There was a time you went, that's gorgeous. And you liked it there, didn't you? Right? I feel good with an orchid in the house. Well, so when a girl comes over, if you have an orchid, could have been a gift, could have been from a girl, you have no clue. But at least you have an orchid there, it looks neat. Right? It conveys your personality in a different manner. Rather than just, you know, some guy who can't take care of a plant.
So tell us about the type of invitations you throw to girls. Like, where do you take them? If it's alone or if it's in a group. Besides the barbecue thing with girls.
Exactly. You know, with I invited her. I did a boot camp, so I said meeting up with friends on it's Saturday night. She came out. I'm meeting up with friends for some drinks, and then we're heading out to a club. XYZ club. So come with us. Meet me at my friend's place. We'll meet there, and then we'll all go out together. Right?
And she came alone.
And she came alone. She hopped in a taxi and she came alone.
And she knew that we were going to be friends there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, saying the friends thing is for her benefit. It's to make her feel a little safer. I don't just say I'll be there with friends. Come alone. I'll say bring your friends. Your friends and my friends can meet and they can supernova explode. How's that for a great idea? And the girls are like, yeah, that sounds great. You know?
So you're never alone on a date with a girl?
I don't want to be. I don't want to be. You know?
Even if she says that she wants to, you know, back to
well, if she wants to be, if it's just straight back to the place, then of course I'll be alone with her, right? But the first time she comes over to the house, when the door opens and she comes into the house, I want a girl to be in the house. So she feels safe again. Oh, another girl's here. Oh, hi. Hi. How are you? Welcome. Would you like a drink? Yeah, we're friends. We're hanging out.
But the example that you spoke about before, heading out to my place, but I still have some time to meet you, and then we both meet alone. Where do you take her in such a situation?
Every time is different. It's whatever I'm doing. I'll make sure I'm doing stuff, and I structure the opportunity to be pursued. That's how I do it. That's my mind state. Is I'm going to be with friends, bringing them out to a certain place for shits and giggles on Saturday night, but we're going to meet up at my friend's house. Is really. We're going to meet there for drinks ahead of time, collect our thoughts and our stuff, and then we're going to head on out. We're heading to one place, and then at midnight we're going to head to a second place. And I tell them I go to 2 places because the party comes with me. And sometimes we'll meet people in the first place, and they will come with us to the second place. And that's a nice way of building trust and comfort and getting into the second club easier because we'll have girls with us. So don't get too jealous about the fact that you're going to have to fight for my attention. And it's worth it. But come on down. Bring your friends if you'd like. Who do you have in mind?
When you bounce them back to your place,
Mm-hmm.
you never do that alone.
Yes, sometimes I have just snagged a girl and gone home.
What plausible excuses do you use?
See my fish.
Okay.
I don't have a fish.
And so when they come and say, "Where's your fish?"
And I say I don't have a fish.
You lied to me.
Oops. It's plausible deniability because at that point you're in one-on-one situation. You keno escalate, roll off, keno escalate, roll off. She's following through it all, so you can just give her any plausible deniability. I mean, it's just for her friends anyway. Come see my fish. If a girl's gonna come to your house to see your fish, you know what I mean? What is that? That's the joke of it. Come on, we're adults.
But about this fish thing, that you don't have a fish, when she realizes that...
It's just another gambit. Remember, every gambit's different. You have to roll with each
Can't
one.
you be falling into that, well, now it's open that I want to have sex with you? And
Well, yeah, it is. It's open. I want to have sex with you. But we can also turn the girl-boy dynamic off. Like that. Now it's off. Now what? Now what are you going to do? My cock is tied in a knot. Sorry. Not tonight. Now what? See, these are my sound bites. This is the sound bites. Oh, okay. So now you're more comfortable about the fact that I'm a guy, you're a girl, and we're alone in a room? I have said no to women. In fact, I've said no to women more than I've said yes. That gives me value to the women I say yes to. That's why I've dated such gorgeous girls. Oops. See, my sound is this is what I use on girls, and it works. There's nothing you can say that is going to, negate the fact that at some point I'm going to untie this dick. It may not be with you, but it will be untied at some point. Right now, tight as a knot. Sorry, you can't get at it. Oh, I know you're clawing. I know what you're thinking too. I have mind reading power, remember? I have X-ray vision. I can see through people. Used that yesterday. I have X-ray vision. I can see through you. And then roll off. And when they re-engage, what do you mean? What do you tell me more? Oh, I'm sick of my own small talk. See, that's an IOD. And then I throw an IOD to see if she, she laughs, re-engages me in conversation. Right? Was this good though? This was a smart thing. Are you glad we went through that? Because you are working on pickup. The game is won in mid-game. And then end game is the end here where hopefully she'll help you. And those 3 different areas are the 3 main areas of pickup that you have to focus on. You could be great at pickup but be lousy at mid-game and therefore you'll suck at end game. Right? But keep in mind, pickup gets you to comfort. You don't have to arouse her in the attraction location. You can, but what happens is you arouse the girl in the attraction location, and now where do I take her? She's not leaving. Her friends are here. I'm stuck, and now I'm hitting a lull. Oh, I just lost the girl. Boom! That girl could have pulled if you would have left with her, but you stuck with us. You know what I mean? The enemy, right?
That's the best.
He had a hot girl on. It was working, but it was sexualized a little bit. At first, it was interesting, but you didn't forward merge or backwards merge. And we were cock farm. You know what I mean? Did the best you can with what you got, right? But it makes sense, right? To get to end game, to practice this area here, you have to become a master of that somehow. But you can't do it unless you get good at comfort. And the game's won in comfort. You can't get good at that unless you get to pickup. So I think we're done with all that, and all we do now is zoom back into, like for the last things that we fill in, zoom back into pickup. From meet to getting a phone number and maybe bouncing to another location. That's it. That's pickup. Get good at that first. Focus on that. Cold approach is making that happen constantly until you have enough of a skill set to always have girls, to be running girls, to actually have a bunch of phone numbers to call, like 7 or 8 of them, or 12 of them. A rotation of having 12 numbers. It sounds like 12 numbers. Are you kidding me? I just want one. No, you're going out, you're meeting girls. You're gonna have 12 numbers.
And the start is harder, and just remember, if we're talking the metaphor of gold again, money makes money, so the more money you have, the abundance grows. So it's easier, you've got more, you're freer in your mind, you're not so needy. You can say no, because you already have your money. You can afford to say, I don't want to take that job. Yeah? Because you have the money already.
Yeah, and when you have girls, more girls follow. You're seen with girls when you're out. You're hanging with girls. I mean, with me, and is a hired gun, so her friends are all hot, right? So I'm hanging out with girls a lot when I'm with her. There you have it.
Yeah. Okay. And it's 6:10.
We'll have a little mental break again.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go on to 6:30, so we're going to go half an hour over.
Okay, but let's take a mental break.
Yeah, a little break, freshen up.
Freshen up.
Back in 5. Someone take a picture and share it on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, please.
That's probably easier, right?
Or share it in the Facebook group.
3 locations.
Can do.
Know them before you leave the house.
You can.
I have it already because
That helps.
for Matador.
What's your game plan? Your game plan is this, not the tunnel of my game plan is to open and hope. It's not from here to there. It's
Can you share it on the
Yeah,
cold approach
I'll
as well? The cold approach.
Any special recommendation to focus
What?
on
The group. What? The Facebook group.
yeah.
hey, that's all you can do right now. Right? But notice the
Sometimes
momentum.
I can get better, but
Yeah, and it can happen tonight. The next set, the very next set. In order to have sex, you have to go through all that. So the momentum of opening, you just have to stop. You got to get out of your head, stop thinking, have a default opener, stack openers, and like keys being thrown at you, 3-second roulette, grab them in midair. That's it. And keep doing that until this whole thing fills up with girls.
Are you on the Facebook group? It's private. No one knows you're on it.
it's been a while since I used Facebook, but well,
It's worth it. We share lots of information.
That's right. I'll bring them together, keep them together, because it's a 2-set. You have to win them both together, because they're friends. They're friends for a reason. So you have to get along with the club, right? But you can, but the opposite is worse. If one girl doesn't like you, but one does, you can have her if you occupy the other one, right? But what happens when both like you? Then the ugly one liking you, the hot one may think, oh, I can't leave.
But we're still going to be talking about.
So
If you need one.
I have to say to the obstacle, you're a friend and I like each other. Are you right with that? Right? And that locks her out.
How do I make the obstacle like me?
I mean, here's how you do it. Let's say it's the 2 of you, right? And you're the obstacle, and that's my target. I'll talk to the obstacle, keep the target involved, talking over her to the obstacle, because I'm interested in what you have to say. Yeah, but I can also just positively misinterpret things. I think, if she treats me poorly, I could say, I'm not fighting you anymore, okay? You are in my corner now, come here over. That's it, right? Reward her for bad behavior. Was treating me like shit, you're awesome. I mean, you can tell you're the mother of the person. You're gonna be a great mom, you know? If you ever have boys, if you have 3 boys, you have twins, you're going to be able to keep them in check, right? They're going to clean their dirty hockey gear before.
IOIs.
IOIs?
You want it?
Yeah, give the ugly fatty IOIs. Grab her big hips and go.
Put it on your finger and do it.
Okay,
You
no,
will spread
spread
otherwise.
it. Oh, yeah. Right? disarm, lead, own, IOIs, and keep it together.
Fight. Strike. Block. Strike.
Clear the minds.
Clear the mind.